duty Border Patrol officer in New York City. The Homeland Security chief visiting him in the hospital earlier today.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem slamming some of the leaders in the nation's largest city, saying this attempted robbery that's left a CBP agent shot and injured is what happens when sanctuary city policies are allowed to continue.
My hope is that this would wake up these individuals and they would recognize that they can't keep letting these dangerous criminals go free.
DHS says both suspects are Dominican nationals now in custody. The agency says both men entered the country illegally under the Biden administration and have lengthy rap sheets.
Fox's CB Cotton, both suspects could face federal charges. An Arkansas man charged in the mass shooting at a grocery store last year has just changed his plea to guilty. 45-year-old Travis Posey was scheduled to go to trial next month. He's been held without bond since the shooting that killed 4 people, injuring 11 others, including 2 police officers in Fordyce, south of Little Rock, now pleading guilty to multiple counts, including capital murder, with sentencing set for August 4th. There's still no word on any possible motive for the shooting. A Canadian man is now charged with murder for the death of his 9-year-old daughter, whose body was found in a pond after he reported her missing on a vacation in New York State.
The investigation has determined sometime after Melina's phone call with her mother and before Monsieur Fratolin's 911 call, he allegedly murdered Melina and left her body in a remote area where she was later discovered by law enforcement.
State Police Captain Robert McConnell says investigators found inconsistencies in Luciano Fratolin's story. He was supposed to return Melina to her mother on Sunday, the day after he reported her missing. The Times-Union of Albany reporting a not guilty plea was entered on his behalf today. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
It may be hard to believe, but today will be the coolest day of the week. Partly sunny, hot and humid. Couple of thunderstorms here and there, 95. Warm and humid tonight, partly cloudy, 77. Tuesday, partly sunny, hot and humid. Couple of spot storms, 97. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, probably Sunday too. Same story, but close to 99. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show Live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gsLHonorFlight.org. And for HVAC services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Happy Monday. It's the Annie Fry Show. We're glad to be with you this afternoon. This weekend was a really wild weekend in the news, certainly as far as some old stories are concerned. Russia Gate. From the bat, there are people who are like, God, I can't believe we're talking about this again. Right now, you're hearing me talk about the first thing on this show, Russia, the Russia hoax, Russia collusion, and you're thinking, how this is in the past. How are we still talking about it? Well, it takes this long for people to be able to pull the curtains back and see the things that were done that had prior to this been alleged with nefarious intentions. Now, is it going to be a big deal? Is this going to result in the revenge that you probably have assumed Donald Trump wants? Of course he wants it. It's just very interesting to me that flashing back to the Russia hoax, or if you're Hillary Clinton, Russian interference in the election, all of the framework surrounding this issue was intended to cloud the story, to cloud everybody's judgment, to make it so nobody would trust anybody, specifically with the president, Donald Trump, who did win in 2016. It was supposed to keep him from getting elected. That didn't work. And then they had to figure out what they were going to do once he got in there. And now we understand from Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, which I cannot overstate how fulfilling this must feel for Tulsi Gabbard. Of all of the people who are in a position to see what she's seen and uncover what she is uncovering to the public, to people like you and me, knowing what this administration did to Donald Trump, that's the lead story. That's the big headline on the top of the newspaper. You know, Russian hoax, Russia collusion. If you're Hillary Clinton, she writes a book called What Happened, and it's all about how Russia and Donald Trump paired up together to steal the election from her. Donald Trump is the headline, but so much collateral damage has happened because of what Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama were willing to do. It's not new information, but we do have some newly disclosed evidence. Where will it go? I don't know that we all know, but we are going to have to pull up a chair once again, get the popcorn out and see.
There's no question in my mind that this intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered be published, which contained a manufactured intelligence document. It's worse than even politicization of intelligence. It was manufactured intelligence that sought to achieve President Obama and his team's objective, which was undermining President Trump's presidency and subverting the will of the American people. So yes, next week we will be releasing more detailed information about how exactly this took place and the extent to which this information was sought to be hidden from the American people, hidden from officials who would be in a position to do something about it. And that's really the point here that I think is most important, Maria, and you said it in your opening. Accountability is essential for the future of our country, for the American people to have any sense of trust in the integrity of our democratic republic. Accountability, action, prosecution, indictments for those who are responsible for trying to steal our democracy is essential for us to make sure that this never happens to our country again.
So she's saying there with Maria Bartiromo on Sunday Morning Futures that accountability is the goal here. Accountability is necessary. If things did happen and they can use documents that have been revealed, communications that were had, that show how a story like the Russia hoax was manufactured. Huge difference here. This is a key difference between taking some information and spitting the political heck out of it so that it benefits you the most. I think, Ryan, you like that type of stuff. That's just the nature of the business. There's a story out there. There's a piece of information that you just have to be the first one to message on that to set the narrative. And then the people who don't get there fast enough have to defend against it.
And it always has been in politics. It's just that now we all are a little more aware of it because we're in the information age.
But at the same time, you have what happened here, which was after the assessment was done, the intelligence assessment, intelligence community assessment was done on the Russia interference allegation. They surveyed the situation. They took what they knew. They put it into an intelligence assessment, and they said Russia, in no way, shape, or form, partnered with Donald Trump to successfully interfere with this election. That didn't happen. What happened after that? President Obama, post Donald Trump winning the election and Hillary Clinton losing the election in December, President Obama says, you're going to need to take another stab at that. I don't like this. Go do it again. And is directed by counsel that's there in this office. The intelligence community is told, do it again, and this is what I need from it. And then we have over and over and over and over very, very well-intended, not well-intended, well-planned, orchestrated responses from people like, yes, the president of the United States at the time, Barack Obama, talking about how all 17 intelligence agency groups came together and said, yes, we have a lot of questions to answer here about Russia's interference in our election. They lied. They intentionally took information, the assessment from the intelligence community that said it did not happen. And they said, that's not good enough. Do it again. And then they got together. They put their hands in the middle and said, this is a story. And then they ran it out. And that changed the course of American history. I don't think there's any doubt in that. President Trump's entire presidency has had this as maybe what? Chapter 2. Chapter 1, escalator. Chapter 2, Russian interference. The whole time.
Yeah, and it was a talking point that was repeated across the world. This was stuff that you'd see in Springfield, Missouri. This is stuff you'd see in China. This was the narrative.
Even if it was just a political hit during the campaign, it became an active factor in Donald Trump's presidency. The man who was the president of the United States, his predecessor intentionally fabricated a report that told you that Donald Trump did this. So if you're out there and you've thought for a long time, maybe by now you've had 3 opportunities to do so. Maybe by now you've been like, the Democrats don't get it. They don't understand. Like, things are not getting better for me. I need to think of something different. Maybe you held your nose and voted for Donald Trump, but you didn't like it. Take out every single allegation and instance of, from the jump, Donald Trump trying to steal the election from the American people by working with Russia. That's the predicate for what most people think of Donald Trump. And it was all a lie. It was an intentional lie by the people who didn't trust you with your vote in your states to elect the person who was right for the job. You chose Donald Trump. And they said, no, not going to have it. And when that happened, and they couldn't keep Donald Trump from winning, they kept Donald Trump from winning as the president. He tried so hard to win for you in his first term, and he did win for you. It is beyond my comprehension how much success Donald Trump has had in one term plus 6 months amidst the greatest obstacles that you could possibly imagine being thrown against him. It's almost laughable how absolutely ridiculous the obstacle course, the gauntlet that he has had to run to do what he says he wants to do in the midst of these liars and these deceivers, and still look and see how much he's winning for the American people.
This is such an important issue, and I just want to start by saying that this is an issue that is important to every single one of us as Americans. This is not a partisan issue. It has to do with the integrity and the strength of our democratic republic. And it lays out this over 100 documents that you're referencing that I released, declassified and released, spells out in great detail exactly what happens when you have some of the most powerful people in our country directly leading at the helm, President Obama and his senior-most national security cabinet, James Comey, John Brennan, James Clapper, and Susan Rice and others, essentially making a very intentional decision to create this manufactured, politicized piece of intelligence with the objective of subverting the will of the American people who in November of 2016 delivered a historic victory to President Trump, defeating Hillary Clinton. And President Obama and his team, their goal was to essentially not accept the decision of the American people and to use this manufactured, politicized intelligence as a means to enact what would become essentially a years-long coup against President Trump.
You know, when the initial allegation is that Donald Trump was trying to steal an election, in 2015 into 2016, they threw everything in front of him that they possibly could, and he still won. Then for his first term, he spends his entire first term, they're throwing stuff in front of me. Ryan, it reminds me of when I asked you, like, what's the worst thing that can happen, like, right before you get on the interstate and you're in a hurry and you got to go somewhere? Like, what's the worst thing you can see when you pull onto the interstate and you know you're going to have to go pedal the metal? And your answer, do you remember what it was?
Yeah, it was people walking back and forth with a plate of glass.
And I thought, dang, that's worse than what I did that time, which is I pulled onto the highway next to my dad. And I was thinking, man, I can't blaze this trail right now. But boy, I'd had to make a pretty consequential decision with those two guys with the plate of glass in front of me. But that's the lengths that the Democrat Party was going against Donald Trump. Like, they're running out of everything. They're like, get the guys in the glass. Get them in the room.
Anything cartoonish they could find, they were throwing in the kitchen sink. They were getting out the cart of watermelons. I mean, it was everything. And it's funny to talk about in that way, but this is a big, big deal.
It's treason.
This is treason.
It's I mean, if this isn't treason, if, like she said, I'm kind of annoyed by the phrase soft coup. I don't feel better about a soft coup compared to whatever the alternative to a soft coup is, like a violent, murderous takeover. A coup is a coup, and they not only tried to do it, they were bottom of the ninth, 2 strikes, down by 1, or up by 1, close to getting this done. And somehow or another, Donald Trump is in the office of the presidency right now. It's unbelievable. We're going to hear what John Solomon has to say about it. Really interesting reaction that he had this weekend on the investigations into the deep state. Keep it here. In about 20 minutes, we'll get to that. But when we return, Ryan Schmelz is going to be with us from Capitol Hill. He's the Fox News Radio Capitol Hill correspondent, our friend here on the Annie Fry Show. We'll get the latest from Capitol Hill and Ryan Schmelz next. Home Shield Foundation Repair. You add an S to that, and that's the website, homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com. Everywhere I was walking this weekend, I was paying attention to the concrete. What a weird thing to do. I was walking downtown, went to the Savannah Bananas game, and was paying attention to the sidewalks and the concrete, and I was thinking they need to call Home Shield Foundation Repairs and level all this concrete out. Now, downtown St. Louis, I don't know if they're going to be making that phone call. But if it's your house and you've got these trip hazards because maybe there was some erosion, some water damage, old concrete that has cracked and then something caused it to separate to where now it's a safety hazard, Home Shield Foundation Repair can come to your home and assess that situation and give you the information you need to make a smart call on how to fix it. It's a much more cost-effective way to handle this problem than ripping out and replacing. That's expensive, the concrete. You got to do what you got to do, though, because it is a danger, and you don't want people tripping on your driveways, your walkways, so on and so forth. 314-227-9636, homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This year, fuel prices have been a bit of a roller coaster. Here in St. Louis, drivers finally have some relief at the pump. But when it comes to groceries and food, it's still pretty bumpy out there. Well, you know what can make your ride smoother? The Upside app. With Upside, you can earn an average 8% cash back on grocery or restaurant purchases and up to 25 cents per gallon on gas, which means there's money to be earned even when fuel prices are low. There are hundreds of nearby locations like Schnucks, Burger King, Arby's, and Taco Bell. Download the app and see why millions of Upside users have racked up almost $1 billion in cashback earned. For a limited time, get a 10% bonus on your first purchase with promo code STL11. That's promo code STL11 for an extra 10% cashback bonus. With Upside, you can roll up to a nearby grocery store, restaurant, or gas station and coast straight to cashback earnings. Don't forget to use promo code STL11. Upside. Cashback smarter. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
If you need work on your fence or your deck, there's only one place to call. That's Chesterfield Fence and Deck. It's what they specialize in and have been since 1968. Mark Cox here. You know what? If you call right now to Chesterfield Fence and Deck, tell them you heard me talking about it. You'll get 48 months interest-free financing on that next outdoor project with my friends at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. All of their products are guaranteed with a 5-year labor warranty, a comprehensive material warranty. They offer the best exclusive warranties in the industry. You can't beat that. Better Business Bureau accredited with an A-plus rating. And when you work with Chesterfield Fence and Deck, you are getting the absolute best from their professional trained installers, their crews, their trucks. They have all the latest tools. They also run their own crews, which is important. Get a hold of them today. Tell them you heard Mark Cox talk about it. Tell them you want 48 months interest-free financing. It's chesterfieldfence.com.
Speeding while driving gives you less time to react. Another car could turn out in front of you. A pedestrian could be walking their dog. Follow the speed limit to keep them safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Family-focused, faith-filled, always on point. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Well, I took a walk around the world to ease my troubled mind. I left my body lying somewhere in the sands of time. But I watched the world float to the dark side of the moon. I feel there's nothing I can do.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. The YouTube live chat poll for today. This is a big one, folks. If you're paying attention to the news this weekend, and in my heart of hearts, I hope you weren't. Have a weekend, folks. What is the likelihood President Obama is arrested? If you go to the YouTube poll, you can vote there. The options are never, ever going to happen, more than 0%, very possible, or imminent. I will tell you right now, just a little tip. I am in between two of these, and I'm not 100% sure which one I'm going to vote for. Let's get to our next guest. Ryan Schmelz joins us once again from Capitol Hill. He's the Fox News Radio Capitol Hill and White House correspondent. I keep hearing the summer recess is upon us, and I've heard that there are some judicial appointments that want to get through, and I've heard that there's a lot that wants to get done, and I don't know if it was the president or if it was the senator that was saying, cancel the recess, we got work to do. Ryan, are they hurrying? Is this like the night before finals cram taking place right now in Capitol Hill?
Yeah, so let me give you the lowdown. So I went to this gala on Friday called Taste of the South, and every state is represented there in the South, including Missouri. So Missouri is considered to be a Southern state under the TOT standards. While I was there, I get a text message, and this is at the pregame, and it is a screenshot of President Trump's Truth Social, where he is saying that Majority Leader Thune might have to cancel the August recess in order to get some of his nominees confirmed, or more of his nominees confirmed. And I was the ultimate bearer of bad news as I read that Truth Social post out loud to this party full of people. So
you didn't get kicked out, did you?
Yeah, no, I did not, thank goodness. But I think there was this thought that the summer recess might be in jeopardy if Republicans aren't able to get enough of these nominees confirmed by the end of the week. So the Senate at least might have to stay behind at least for a couple of weeks maybe to get some of this done.
So, Ryan, can you tell me, before we talk about the work that needs to get done before that summer recess either does or does not happen, what is summer recess? I think that anytime people are listening to the show and they hear summer recess, why do they get a recess, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, so they're not in Washington, D.C. They go back to their districts. Are they, like, vacationing during this time? How's that work?
I think it depends on who the member is. Some members do take the time to go on vacation. Others will go and just have a lot of constituent meetings. You know, some of these folks have really big districts in terms of travel. Like, you know, Wyoming has one representative. The representative representing Wyoming's got to go to every single portion of the state. And so August is pretty much a good time for them to do that. There's also fundraising. You know, a lot of these folks are in swing districts, or it might be a time for people like Speaker Johnson to go and travel to different areas where there might be a swing district, and he can fundraise with a member whose seat is vulnerable or with a member who they're trying to oust. You know, so I think there's a lot of different ways in which people utilize the August recess. But, you know, the way that this has been kind of shaping out over the last couple of years, maybe even for the last decade or so, is that we're usually up against the government funding fight, which usually the government runs out of money at the end of September. Well, August recess right before that September deadline. So a lot of these members get to go back to their districts and find out where the funding needs to go so they can bring that argument back to D.C. when they get back.
So how long does the recess traditionally last? Is it the full month of August?
Pretty much, yes. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So we hear that the president wants to get these appointments through. What other kinds of things are on Congress's list for themselves, as the president seems to be adding to that list, maybe to the top of the list or the bottom of the list?
Yeah.
What are they trying to complete?
Well, they're starting the government funding process, and they're going to have to be very aggressive about it if they want to get this done by the end of September. You know, Republicans are trying to do what's called the appropriations process, which is 12 individual spending bills that would fund the government through the end of September. Remember, this was something that Matt Gaetz really had a lot of butted heads with Kevin McCarthy on quite a lot. McCarthy was not able to get this done in time, and it ended up costing him. At least that's one of the reasons Matt Gaetz used to justify ousting Kevin McCarthy back when that happened. Speaker Johnson has promised that they're going to do it this time. However, they got started very late. Remember, we had a government funding battle in March. Well, they should have been probably focusing on this, but they had to focus on avoiding a shutdown back in March. Then you had the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which ate up a lot of Congress's time and a lot of Congress's efforts. And you also had other confirmations early on in President Trump's term, too. So we're here now about a little more than like 2 months away from a government shutdown. And Republicans are trying to get all these appropriations bills done. You know, I think the big one's going to be the defense spending bill. Obviously, the national defense eats up a lot of the federal government's money. It's also probably one of the more important bills out there. So that one might be bipartisan. We'll have to wait and see. But some of these other ones, Republicans have said they want to cut spending. They want to make them as conservative as possible. Only problem is they need 60 votes in the Senate, and we don't know if Democrats are going to be willing to play ball here.
All right. So the likelihood that the recess is on, it's not canceled, I would assume that it could maybe be delayed a little bit if they need to get certain things done, that it's not all or nothing. Do you anticipate the August recess commences as is expected?
Well, I think for the House it does, for sure. I think it depends on what Democrats are willing to do in the Senate, you know, because one thing we saw early on, and we still saw it, you know, Leader Thune had a pretty good pace going. He was ahead of a lot of different historical markers when it came to getting President Trump's nominees confirmed, despite some pushback or substantial pushback on a number of them. But as we've gotten some of the more high-profile ones done with, you now have maybe some of the not as high-profile ones, plus the judicial nominees. And Democrats are still kind of using a lot of these stalling tactics, which eats up a lot of Senate floor time. It takes a while. And so now, you know, President Trump is kind of saying, well, I want my people in office. I want to be able to use the staff that I appointed to be able to run the government. And we still got a lot of people who are not confirmed. So now you have President Trump kind of threatening to, you know, end the August recess in order to get some of these members confirmed. You know, one thing Leader Thune did point out is that I believe this is the only president in a while that at this point in their presidency, they didn't have one nominee that was confirmed by just like a simple voice vote. It's all been roll call. And that's kind of adding to why this is taking so long. So if Democrats are possibly willing to play ball with that and, you know, maybe move along some of the ones that are a little less partisan, have a little bit more bipartisan support and move them along quickly, maybe that could make some changes to this and make President Trump a little more satisfied with where the August recess is.
Ryan Schmelz speaking with us, Fox News Radio, Capitol Hill and White House correspondent. Last thing I wanted to touch on with you real quick regards the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries. Now, he has spoken out on X and said this so-called U.S. attorney in New Jersey maliciously indicted Congresswoman LaMonica McIver for doing her job. Haba is a woefully unqualified political hack who must go. Now, this is in regards to that New Jersey incident where that Congresswoman McIver put her hands on law enforcement trying to make a political statement or try to get inside when she could have just made an appointment, requested the opportunity to access it. But there has been an ethics complaint filed against Hakeem Jeffries now, saying that he's actively trying to insert himself into the middle. Grand jury has reacted to and indicted, my understanding is, McIver. So she's going to go on trial. That's my understanding of it. Will this materialize into anything, or is this kind of just a political slap fight, get some people in the headlines with some negative press, and move on?
We'll see, because Hakeem Jeffries is actually going to speak here in just a couple minutes for his fly-in day press conference. We're trying to figure this out because this was a conservative organization that filed this. Now, it's either we're trying to figure out if this was an officially filed ethics complaint or if this was just a letter written to the ethics committee, because people write the ethics committee letters all the time asking for certain members to face ethics probes. But then there's also official ethics committee complaints that are filed, and one is significantly more substantial than the other. So I think we're trying to wait and see here and trying to figure out if this has any legs or this is just a conservative organization filing a complaint against the top house Democrat.
So my understanding is that what Hakeem Jeffries is trying to do is to get Alina Habba removed from her position as a district attorney in New Jersey. And he's trying to get, what my understanding is, 17 sitting district courts can come together and make this decision to remove and replace her. 15 of them were nominated by Democrat presidents. Kind of a lean-in way for Hakeem Jeffries to run cover for his Democrat representative McIver in this instance, and maybe cause the whole case to fall apart if his influence here had some weight to it.
I think that's the concern, but will it? I don't know if that's going to be the case because Alina Habba is still awaiting confirmation, I believe. She's right now serving as the district attorney for New Jersey, and she's in that position. And I believe she's up for a review soon, and they're going to decide whether or not she's going to stay in that position. So that's what this complaint kind of rises out of, is that this organization believes that Hakeem Jeffries was deliberately, interfering with the court members' decision as to what to do with Alina Habba and whether or not to keep her on or not. So it's kind of a little bit of a back and forth, but we don't know how much influence he's truly going to have here and what they're ultimately going to do. But that's one of the things that was raised by this group, was that they believe this is an interference into that process, and therefore they believe it's in many ways, a piece of corruption.
We'll see if the Article 3 project's complaint, as official as it may be, or just a statement, we'll see how far it goes in trying to admonish Hakeem Jeffries, or if Hakeem Jeffries' admonishment of Alina Habba has any legs as well. All right, here's watching the August recess. Ryan Schmelz, thank you for the time today. It's a pleasure to have you as always.
Thanks, Annie. Have a good one.
You as well. Thank you so much. Ryan Schmelz here on the Annie Fry Show from Capitol Hill. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to get to some of those notes from John Solomon. I trust John Solomon. I think he's a good reporter. Your thoughts on him?
I like him.
He doesn't, I feel like he leans heavy into truth. And it's weird that it feels like truth is on the right.
He's always on the leading edge, too.
Yeah.
He doesn't really shy away from stuff that's controversial.
Actual journalistic reporting. We'll get some of his thoughts next. Don't go away.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world, and our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
What's your favorite four-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our four-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar, And maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Monday. It's a big one. Here is the question of the day. It's the YouTube live chat poll. What is the likelihood President Obama is arrested? I'm not going to walk you through all the options here. You can see them by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube. Today's date will come up, and that's where you can vote. And once you vote, you can also see where the results are right now. But this is what we're talking about today. We'd like you to weigh in. It is 12:36. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
25 years strong. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Did you pay attention to the stuff that was coming through this weekend? It was hard for me because stuff that was being discussed over the weekend, stuff that Tulsi Gabbard was revealing, it does. I guess the wrinkle this weekend is this new that Obama redirected the intelligence report. The intelligence report came back and said, there's no Russia collusion here at all. And Obama said, do it again.
Yeah, it was weird walking through this story because we've walked through this story for 8 years or longer. And so
literally we're talking about stuff like this when I was on Saturdays.
Yeah. So this is the details we've seen. We've gone over it many, many times. In fact, it's not just on the right that we've done this. The left knows all of this too. But you're right. The big news that came out, and I keep seeing that Tulsi's going to be dropping more throughout the week.
She filed officially the referral. She's referring for charges.
Right.
And this does go all the way to President Obama. It was by his direction.
Yes.
That this report would be manufactured to harm Donald Trump's presidency. And it required a host of people, I say a host, a very prominent group of people to go along with it in order for it to be truly successful. So here's John Solomon. He's on Real America's Voice. He's reporting on this, and I'm going to jump in and out of it as we go because it's a little long.
And I think next week, over the next 10 days, the base who's been wondering, where's all that accountability? They're going to get some big surprises over the next week concerning where the conspiracy began a few weeks before Crossfire Hurricane was open and when it ended, all the way in 2024, when they were still trying to pursue Donald Trump to keep him from winning the presidency. There's a big case that's been built by the Justice Department and the FBI. It's been masked by a lot of this infighting and drama and soap opera stuff, but the truth of the matter is MAGA base Americans are going to be happy when they see where this is all heading in the next few weeks. Kash Patel's going nowhere. I hope Dan Bongino isn't going anywhere, but I do think he's going to take some time over the weekend to think that through.
So there you have John Solomon talking about what is established here. The YouTube poll for today, what is the likelihood President Obama is arrested? This is an actual question I was asked this weekend by someone who's following this. One of the answers in the list today is what I actually said to him when he asked me that question. But I'm now torn between two of them. I'm not going to tell you what it is right now. We'll talk about it in the 2 o'clock hour. Do you have a guess on what I think, Ryan?
Yeah, I think I know which two it is. I won't say, since we're going to...
You have to say. Otherwise, this is just us talking about nothing. This isn't Seinfeld.
Well...
I'm not going to tell you.
If you want to hear my predictions, come back in the 2 o'clock hour.
One, don't tell me which two you think I'm between. Tell me which one you think is the actual quote of what I replied.
More than 0%.
Okay. Well, I will tell you... I'll tell you exactly when I'm going to reveal this. We'll do it at 1:45.
At 1:45.
Yeah.
That's when you're going to say what you believe is going to happen?
I'll tell you which one I said.
That's when I'll tell you what I think I know that
Stop
you
it.
thought you
I'm
said.
confused, and I'm supposed to drive this car, and I don't know which direction we're going.
At 1:45.
Joe Concha is going to be with us at 1:30. The following segment after that, we'll talk a little bit about this. You want to know the other poll question I almost asked for today?
Yes.
It is still on the table for this week. Do you believe? No.
In love.
Do you? Okay. The question was going to be, have you ever followed in any capacity Q?
Oh, yeah, do that some
Should
point
I?
this week.
Great question.
Yes.
I was like, I'm going to do it. I can't do that. I'm going to do it. I can't do that.
No, do a different question, but based on that. Trust Jeff Sessions, question mark? Trust the plan?
That's what I won't put Q in the question. It'll be like, have you ever, in quotes, trusted the plan? And then one of the answers is going to be like, I see what you did there.
Man. I mean, if you're hanging on still to that now, I don't want to get too deep
Are
into
you
it.
kidding me?
What?
If you're still hanging on to that now?
Well, Q has proven himself to be unreliable at best.
Obviously, that means that you have somehow or another followed Q from time to time.
I'll answer that question right now. In the first term, I was enamored with the whole thing. I can't say I was. I was bought in.
This is completely on par.
I wasn't bought into the whole thing, but I was definitely watching it. I was watching it with a close eye.
Were you watching it for the deep state?
I can't confirm or deny whether I was part of the deep state in the first term.
I've said this before. You are either completely on the surface, what you see is what you get, or you are the slickest intelligence asset that has ever walked the face of the planet.
I will say this. I wear khaki shorts on the weekends.
Okay. How many pockets?
4.
That I'm going to tell you about.
I'm not going to tell you about the ones inside.
The YouTube short video that came from Thursday? Was that when we were talking? No, Friday was when we were talking about prepping. And you imitated corn.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was from Freak on a Leash.
I don't know that I did.
Is what you did from Korn, does Korn do that in every song?
No. I
is
don't
that
think
just Freak on a Leash?
I can't answer that question. But it's just a thoughtful pause. It was a punctuation. It was just a period pop.
Kind of weird on a radio show. That's a
period.
tell. That was a signal to the intelligence community right there. They're like getting a little too close. Time for the
Fifth Amendment. Can't say. But I will say that I don't know enough about Freak on a Leash. I can tell you that anytime Jonathan Davis / Korn goes into scat mode, I'm paying attention.
Is that like rage metal scat?
Yeah, because it's not real scat.
I don't think
it's metal scat.
I don't even think you should ever try to do that again on the show.
I won't.
Because it was too
perfect.
Flawlessly perfect.
And it's on video. If you ever want to see it, you can see it.
I was at my parents' house yesterday, and I was like, did you hear Ryan do the Korn interpretation? And he goes, yeah, I didn't get that.
That's generational.
I go, what do you mean you didn't get it? He goes, I don't know. I heard you talking about prepping, and then somebody said something about corn, and then I start hearing these noises. He goes, I thought he was just making the sounds you make when you eat sweet corn.
No.
And I'm like, that is so perfect.
No.
I'm telling that story. And I'm like,
he's not alone.
I said
There's
to him,
probably a whole contingency of people that had no clue what I was
doing. And
doing.
then I was explaining to them, I pulled up on Spotify Korn, and I just played the first song that came up because I have no idea whatever that noise that you made from. Who is the singer of Korn? Yeah.
I won't do more.
That's it. You can't.
That
I don't
was
want
just a
you to
little
do it
tease.
now and then diminish the perfection you've already done. My son was sitting in the room, and he goes, oh, I didn't know that's what that was from. I thought he was just talking about corn. And I said, the millennials and the Gen Xers,
wow.
We nailed the sweet spot. But apparently corn and what you did is a dog whistle to millennials and Gen Xers. Boomers and Gen Z were like, maybe that's what it sounds like when he eats sweet corn.
Well, it's good to know that Korn, the band, is not going to be timeless like the Beatles.
Yeah,
I'm actually encouraged by that.
That's what you can derive from this. If you do not know what I'm talking about, please go to the Annie Fry YouTube channel, and you have to see. You will, when you're watching this video, it's a short, so I think it's less than 60 seconds. It's probably about a minute long. We're talking about preparation for disasters, and Ryan said that he basically says they stock canned goods of foods that they don't like to eat. And then somehow or another he was talking about corn. I said corn with a K, and then this thing just came out of Ryan. And it was exactly that. I knew immediately when he was doing it. He nailed it. You got to go check the YouTube video. Wiggins America Monday Roundup next. Don't go away.
Hey, it's Mark Cox. Join me July 28th at Old Hickory Golf Club for the Missouri Republican PAC's first annual golf tournament benefiting Senator Adam Schnelting. Teams and individual golfers are welcome. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
It's hot. So is it better to set my thermostat at 70, 65, 75, 80? Here's my advice to you. Set the thermostat exactly where you're more comfortable. The difference I would spend from 75 to 80, are you ready for your savings? Now remember, this is for 3 months. In my opinion, you could save $10 to $15 a month. Or I can say, I'm still uncomfortable, so lower it, 70 degrees. So now you're spending $10 to $20 more a month for 3 months. So let's just say to 20. Let's just get crazy and think that it's going to cost you $20 more a month for your comfort. That's $60 in 3 months. Do you have an extra $60? With that being said, if your system is not cooling, then call me, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. 314-293-2600. God bless.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Wiggins. Oh! Monday Roundup. Yeah! This here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
My favorite lyric in that song is Wipeout.
Thank you. I thought it was
No, I don't like the part where he laughs. That makes me afraid. It's like it.
Gosh.
This is the Monday Roundup. This is everything that you need to know from the weekend that you missed.
I love that people in the YouTube chat are now spelling out the words you said singing to Korn. That's fantastic. Go on.
Apparently, the video tried to transcribe what I was doing and did a decent job, according to Brad. I watched it once this weekend, and I was like, can't watch that again. Nobody knows what I'm doing. All right, the stories from the weekend. The first one is that Elon Musk is going to begin opening Tesla diners. And the first one is opening today. Tesla Hollywood Diner is slated to open in Hollywood, Tesla Hollywood Diner. But eating won't be the only thing you can do there. The location also includes 80 V4 superchargers, a drive-in movie theater, 2 45-foot LED screens, and the audio can be synced inside your Tesla vehicle. And apparently you can only get into these if Tesla is your brand.
That seems like a shaky business model.
I don't know. It's like airport lounges. Like, oh yeah, you got the exclusive thing, then you can get into the exclusive club.
It's also weird to be in. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but to be investing in Hollywood, like the location.
I think he just grabbed something that was real cheap and converted it.
Why was it real cheap? I mean, I have no business criticizing Elon Musk's business decisions. He's not even. I'm not even in his universe, in any of that. But like, Hollywood, huh? Didn't you flee California for Texas?
Yeah, it is weird in that
and
sense.
decide to create your own town?
Yeah, I wonder if he's trying to sort of go into liberal enclaves and make it cool again. You know, because if I saw that, I would say, dang, I kind of want to be. I have no desire to own a Tesla, but I would like to stop at these places. On
It's
a road
also
trip.
possible, too, that if Tesla, I mean, people were getting their cars keyed because they were driving Teslas because of Donald Trump, not because of Elon Musk, because of Donald Trump. I don't know that Elon Musk has detached himself enough from, I mean, I think a lot of people credit Elon Musk with a huge portion of Donald Trump being able to get elected. I would be nervous going there. Like, I would think that in a state that encourages protest violence by not locking people up and putting them away when they continuously show up and protest things and have a hissy fit with violence and fire and whatever, I wouldn't be like, hey, let's gather all the Teslas together in one place.
See, I would view it more as a sanctuary city within a sanctuary city.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not attached to like a Tesla dealership or like a mechanic shop.
It's just
though,
a
is it?
diner. It's just a diner, drive-in movie theater.
Interesting.
A lot of bells and whistles.
That's kind of interesting. There's so many.
And it
Tesla,
looks really cool, by
There's
the way.
so many Tesla owners out there, but I feel like that's something that would make sense too. To like when you're getting it worked on, you're looking at it. That can kind of be like
a
hey, you
hangout.
also get access to this, or you can hang out here.
Well, that is
while you're
probably
doing it, too.
part of it because you got to wait to charge it. So this
okay.
would be a hangout
That's fair.
center.
That makes sense.
And they are going to open more. Apparently, that's the plan across the country in big cities. So watch out for them. If
Like
you have
St.
a Tesla.
Louis?
I don't know. I didn't see St. Louis on the list yet. Big cities
Or
like
big-ish.
St. Louis and Wichita. All right, next one,
Springfield.
also out of California. The In-N-Out billionaire owner, Lindsay Snyder, says her family is going to leave California along with the company's headquarters. Quote, doing business is not easy here. She said this on a podcast recently. And then I will add that the press office for Gavin Newsom said, this is being taken out of context. They're going to leave a headquarters here. They're just moving elsewhere also, and their whole family is leaving. It was a tough thing to
right.
It was kind of tough to parse out, but they were trying their hardest.
That's crazy. In-N-Out Burger is California.
It really is.
Not anymore.
Well, that's my first one was just last year. I went to Denver and ate there because I really wanted to eat there, and then later went to California for the second time in my life. And of course, Sunset Boulevard, famous strip in Los Angeles. Went to the In-N-Out Burger. Sunset Boulevard, not that nice. In-N-Out Burger on Sunset is okay.
I've only had it on the Vegas Strip. It's the only place I've ever had it. It was fine.
What'd you think?
It was fine.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was if it was here and it was a fast food place,
whoa,
I'd stop. But making the pilgrimage, I was like, well, this was maybe not the best idea. I could have eaten somewhere else in Denver than an In-N-Out Burger.
To make the pilgrimage.
But I have done it twice, and it was pretty good. Speaking of food news, I love my food news. Summertime is when a lot of major brands experiment with new releases, and it looks like one of the most popular American candy bars is doing just that. Earlier this year, I haven't even seen these though, Butterfinger released its salted caramel limited time flavor with reports of other new iterations to come in August of this year. Has anybody seen the salted caramel Butterfinger?
I have not.
No.
I haven't either. They said it came out earlier.
Have you been looking?
I'm not Ryan Wiggins.
Yes, I've been looking. Although that's not one of my favorite
Ethan, when was
candy
the last
bars.
time you were going through a checkout somewhere and you bought a candy bar?
Oh my God, it's been at least probably 10 years, probably longer.
Brad?
Do peanut M&Ms count?
Yeah.
Then probably like 3 weeks.
Wait, so you're saying though where you're like you're not going to buy it and you're
No,
in the
it's an
checkout
impulse
counter
buy.
and you're like, oh, you know what, I'll get one of those.
Yeah.
No, it's been a really
Ryan?
long time.
Impulse buy?
I don't know. Maybe you went to the store for the candy bar.
I do. That's what I do. I go to
The only
stores
time I
for
go to the
candy.
stores.
He impulse buys milk.
I do. I'm like, oh man, we're out of milk. I'll go to the store right now. Did I say milk?
When did you go? When's the last time you bought a candy bar at the store?
Oh, this weekend. But it wasn't an impulse buy.
It was
I went
a
on-
planned.
Yeah. I went on purpose.
It was a planned and coordinated attack.
That'd be shameful if it were if you weren't there with intention.
Let me tell you something about buying candy in grocery stores. First of all, it's where you're going to pay the most. But if you have to go to the candy, you have to go get
Candy
it
bar
at the candy
economics,
store.
Wiggins America.
You go to the
Candynomics.
candy aisle and you buy the candy bar you were going to buy up at the impulse spot in like the 5-pack. So they're little ones, but they're a lot more candy for your buck.
No.
They are.
This is true wisdom.
I did the whip, but I haven't moved on from this story. The
Wait,
other
we want to
ones-
know more about this.
The
Go on.
other Butterfingers, other than salted caramel, that are going to come out are French toast Butterfingers and marshmallow Butterfingers.
No, just make a Butterfinger that doesn't stick in your teeth forever.
Thank you. I would be fine with that.
There's a huge risk when you bite into a Butterfinger of like how sticky it's going to be.
It's not a risk. It's a guarantee.
No, there's a difference. If you bite into it and it flakes apart versus you can bite into some and they've
melted a little.
congealed or stuck together a little bit more. I don't know the last time I had a Butterfinger, but that used to be a candy bar of choice in my ute. German.
Ute.
Last one. AI scam uses daughter's voice to trick Florida woman. This is a long story, but the short of it is that somebody called her pretending to be her daughter and using AI as her daughter's voice.
Terrifying.
To scam her out of $15,000 because they said she was in trouble. And, of course, you got to help your daughter or your granddaughter when she's
You need
in
to
trouble.
have like a code word with your loved ones so that if you were in trouble, you would say something that would indicate this is really me.
Flaky Butterfinger.
I don't think that would really be code. I think that would be a tell.
That's everybody's now.
I am hungry for a flaky Butterfinger. That's what that means for Ryan.
The bridge from Freak on a Leash.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to speak with Steve Moore, and we're going to talk about the Fed. What does he have to say about the direction that's headed? When we come back, don't go away.
Step outside and fall in love with your backyard again. From inviting porch overhangs to durable composite decks and cozy screen rooms, Lakeside Renovation and Design creates stunning outdoor living spaces designed for relaxation, entertaining, and making memories. With expert craftsmanship and top-quality materials, your new outdoor oasis will be perfect for every season. Call Lakeside Renovation and Design today or visit lakesiderd.com to get started. Let's turn your backyard into the retreat you've always dreamed of.
1 in 4 people surveyed by Bankrate.com say they're literally losing sleep because of worries that they may have not saved enough to retire. If you're ready to get serious about planning for your financial future, you could start by listening to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All of the All Financial Group.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different. If you want assistance, we can also help you at that point.
Tune in to the All Financial Hour with Steve All, Saturday mornings at 6, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Infinite-vitality.com is the website. You throw my name out there when you go visit them for hormone replacement therapy or weight loss services, and you're going to save $50. That's where you need to go to solve these types of problems. Infinite-vitality.com. You can call them at 618-486-1888. Let me talk to you about why I went there, because in my 40s, everything kind of slows down. I am tired all of the time. At least I was until I started hormone replacement therapy with Infinite Vitality. I just heard Dr. McCary over the weekend raving about the benefits of hormone replacement therapy and how it's kind of been something that's been poo-pooed before, but he's like, folks, open this up. The amount of health you can prolong in your life when you look into how hormone replacement therapy can help women specifically. You need to give yourself the opportunity to enjoy your life, have the energy, have the clearness of mind. It happens when you go to Infinite Vitality. 618-486-1888, infinite-vitality.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at Zero Res, and July is actually National Carpet Cleaning Month, and because of that, Zero Res is offering a purchase of 3 rooms of carpet cleaned and get 1 free, plus $50 off air duct surfaces. Here in St. Louis, you got stains from Toasted Rav, dog hair thicker than a summer party at Soulard, and a mystery spot that might be beer, might be barbecue. Let's face it, might be both. It's time to call the pros at Zero Res. They clean without soap, harsh chemicals, or that weird musty smell your Aunt Linda's house always has. They use their powerful, fancy ZR water.
so your floors dry fast, feel soft, and smell like victory, like beating Chicago maybe. Vacuuming is simply not sufficient to maintain the cleanliness and the lifespan of your carpet, and Zero-Res can handle it all. Carpets, tiles, rugs, upholstery, air ducts, basically every surface in your home. Take advantage of this offer. Buy 3 rooms of carpet clean, you get 1 free, plus $50 off air duct services. Call today at 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com. Tell me what the 97.1 FM Talk special. You spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero-Res.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Protesters outside federal court. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
No kings here. No.
There in Boston, where a federal judge is hearing a Harvard lawsuit accusing the Trump administration of violating federal law and the school's First Amendment rights by forcing it to comply with policy changes, including discipline of pro-Palestinian protesters.
Harvard sued the Trump administration after it froze nearly $3 billion in federal funds. An attorney for the government argued the administration has every right to cancel the funding and says anti-Semitism and the alleged targeting of Jewish students is enough to justify the cuts.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz in Washington. The administration also wanted the school to end certain diversity programs. 2 suspects who are in the U.S. illegally are now in custody in connection with the shooting of an off-duty Border Patrol agent wounded during what police say was an attempted robbery in a New York City park over the weekend.
Neither suspect was supposed to be here. Both had deportation orders. But DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says while the men were repeatedly arrested, sanctuary city policies meant they were always released before ICE agents could pick them up. Now she's calling on leaders in these sanctuary cities to change their ways.
How many more lives will it take? How many more people have to be hurt and victimized before we have public safety be a #1 priority in some of our largest cities?
DHS says both suspects are Dominican nationals, and investigators say between the two, there are at least 12 prior arrests.
Fox's CB Cotton, the Homeland Security Chief, and borders are visiting the agent in the hospital earlier today. A federal appeals court just ordering a new trial for the man convicted of killing 6-year-old Eitan Pates in New York City in 1979. Pedro Hernandez serving 25 years to life after a 2017 conviction the appeals court overturned because of an issue related to a note sent by the jury. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call Cordell & Cordell today because your business is more than a job, it's your legacy.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
It may be hard to believe, but today will be the coolest day of the week. Partly sunny, hot, and humid. Couple of thunderstorms here and there, 95. Warm and humid tonight. Partly cloudy, 77. Tuesday, partly sunny, hot, and humid. Couple of spot storms, 97. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, probably Sunday too. Same story, but close to 99. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the preferred partner plan and stay cool this summer. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Joe, I think that what we need to do is examine the entire Federal Reserve institution and whether they have been successful. I'm speaking, actually, I'm going to be in the building this evening. There is a regulatory conference that begins tomorrow. I'm the keynote speaker tonight talking about regulation. The Fed as well deals with monetary policy, regulations, financial stability. And again, I think that we should think, has the organization succeeded in its mission? You know, if this were the FAA and we were having this many mistakes, we would go back and look at why has this happened?
So there you have the Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, talking about the Fed and what's going to maybe happen next. Of course, we know that Donald Trump does not really appreciate Jerome Powell. That's an understatement. What is the Fed? What are they supposed to be doing that they're not? Is a great guest to have on to discuss that. Steve Moore is with us. He's a distinguished fellow in economics at the Heritage Foundation, a Trump economic advisor as well. In his book, The Trump Economic Miracle and the Plan to Unleash Prosperity Again. I wonder which chapter we're back in your book right now, Steve, in the midst of this second term for the president. Welcome back to the show.
Well, hi, Annie. Great to be with you. Excuse me. And, I think that Scott Bessent has really nailed it here. The Fed has a pretty spotty record over the last few years. I mean, remember, it was Jerome Powell, as chairman of the Fed, who allowed the inflation rate under Joe Biden to go up by, remember, it hit a high, I think, of 9.2% in 2021-22. It was a disaster for the country. And the Fed's job is to keep inflation under control, and they haven't done it. And if you were angry about how much grocery prices cost and gasoline prices cost and your utility bills cost during Biden's presidency, the number one culprit, of course, was Joe Biden, because he was the one who had the spending spree that allowed that to happen. And then Jerome Powell accommodated all that spending with massive increases in money into the economy, and that caused the inflation. So he's got to go. If I were, I would probably just let him serve. He's got about, I think, 6 to 8 months left, and then replace him with someone who knows what he's doing. The other issue, as you know, Annie, is that he's been financially incompetent at the Fed Reserve Board. So I'm sure you followed that story of $2.5 billion of renovating the $2.5 billion to renovate the Fed Reserve Board, meeting with marble staircases and ornate waterfalls and the terrace gardens up in the top floor, all of this stuff. For a government bureaucracy, it seems outrageous.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't seem like, this is really fiscally responsible
Exactly.
with the American taxpayer dollar.
He has a lot of nerve to say Congress is spending too much money when he spends money like that, as if it's all he has to do is go downstairs in the basement and let him print off more $100 bills, and he can pay the bills for the Fed. So there is no love lost between these two. Every time I see President Trump, I should never nominated Jerome Powell. I
Too
say,
late.
Yes, sir, that was
he calls
a
him
mistake.
too late. Yeah.
And he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but that was a mistake.
So we're speaking here with Steve Moore, and the economy. This is our best guest that we have all week on the economy. So I want to ask you something that I saw kind of percolating towards the end of last week on social media, and I have my questions too. A lot of people want to see prices come down. Now, they certainly have on certain things like gas. We've talked about the price of eggs. That's come down. But it can still be shocking to go to the grocery store, to go, if you've got to repair something in your home. The cost of goods has just gone up so much for so long. There are people who are suggesting that tariffs are benefiting domestic companies and they're not passing those savings along to the consumer. And I just wondered if you had any clarity you could offer us in when we might see some of these other prices of goods and services coming down.
Well, so first of all, as I just said, the inflation rate went up to 9% in 2021 under Biden and Jerome Powell, and over the 4 years he was president, the average inflation rate was nearly 6%. So it was horrible for people. I mean, they and if you looked at the things you had to buy, the essentials, your food and your groceries, and you have to pay your education costs and all these things, those went up by 25 or 30%. So it was, Americans lost money when Joe Biden was president relative to inflation. We don't really want to see, what we want to see is prices just stabilized. I mean, unfortunately, we've ratcheted up prices to a new high, and that is now we have to basically make sure they don't keep rising. And the recent, reports show where inflation is now growing at only 2.5%, not 5 and 6%. So we're getting there. Will food prices go back to where they were in 2020? I doubt it. But I want to make sure every time I go to the grocery store, I'm not getting sticker shock with higher and higher prices.
I wanted to ask you also about the Trump accounts. These is $1,000 invested into an account on behalf of newborns born, I guess maybe this year through 2028, possibly. This is, to me, kind of, it's going to be tied to the market, is my understanding. This is kind of the opposite of an entitlement that would happen at the end of life. There's something that's created at the beginning of life. Is this a taxpayer handout to people, or what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm of mixed minds on it. I mean, I do like the idea of having young people build up equity over their life. And if you start with some equity when you're born, of course it's an unearned benefit because nobody who's 1 year old can earn that benefit, right? But that money has to come out of someone else's wallet. There's no such thing as free money. So I like the idea, though, of allowing people to tap into what Albert Einstein once called the most powerful force in the universe, which is compound interest. What I'd like to see done as a complement to this is starting tomorrow, every young person who's, let's say, listening to the show under the age of 40, you get to take 10% of your paycheck, and instead of sending it into the Social Security, black hole, you put that into a similar kind of account. And it's, by the way, it's your money. You earned it. And you get to, you don't choose how it's invested. You just invest in an index fund of all the stocks in the S&P 500 and the Russell 2000, and you ride the wave. Because those things are going to go up. And then when you retire, you're going to get a Social Security benefit that'll be about 2 to 3 times higher than Social Security would offer you. So I love that idea. We should have done, George W. Bush proposed this, 25, 30 years ago. We should have done it. It was, think about this. The Dow in 1984 was 1,000. Now it's 45,000. So we want to make sure every American owns a piece of the rock. But they can't save money because Social Security takes the money right off the top of their paychecks. Right.
I mean, so you said under 40. I'm 41. So
all right. I'm not, sorry, you're out of the price.
I really feel like I'm going to be in a position where whatever happens to Social Security, there's going to be a group of people who are in a transitionary period. I just assume that I'm going to get screwed in it, but maybe I won't. What if you're somebody who's my age right now and you're looking forward to Social Security? Does a change have to be made before I get there for that Social Security to be there for me to partake in?
Well, I think it's a good question. One of the mistakes I think Republicans make is they keep talking about, cutting Social Security. Occasionally they do, cut Social Security benefits in the future. I'm like, well, wait a minute. What? No, Social Security. So the problem isn't Social Security pays you too much. It pays you way, way too little. I mean, I've done the calculations myself. I'm a lot older than you. I just turned 65. So I've spent 45 years paying into this system. If I just put that money into a 401k account, by the way, I looked it up. My Social Security benefit will be $3,200 a month until I die. If I had a private account like I'm talking about, a personalized account, my benefit wouldn't be $3,200 a month; it'd be $12,000 a month. Wow. So why? So why are we telling people you're getting too much? No, folks, the worst possible investment you will ever make in your entire life, hopefully, I hope you don't make a worse investment than this, Social Security. You're going to get a negative return on the money you put into it. So I would say someone like who's your age, you say, your early 40s, what I would do is say, okay, from now until you retire, you can put some of your money into a private account. And then when you retire, you'd get some of your retirement benefit from a personal account and some of it from the money you've already put into Social Security. And then you phase it out over time. Mm-hmm. And also I'd make it voluntary. So I know some of your listeners, no, I don't want that. I just want the certainty of Social Security. Okay. You see, I would make it optional. You can keep the Social Security and you can keep paying in and get this crappy benefit if that's what you want. Everybody should be able to make their own choice. But my gosh, this would be such an opportunity. And think about this: every American then under this plan would own a piece of the rock, would own America.
Yes. So much so. Well, Steve, I'm counting on Social Security, and my husband is a middle school teacher. He's counting on an Illinois teacher's pension. So,
well, look, I mean, the economy has really picked up a lot. I mean, we kind of buried the lead here. I mean, we got the big beautiful bill passed 2 weeks ago. Then last week we got that rescission bill passed. So sorry, Elmo, you're not going to get any more federal tax dollars.
He had a rough week.
I know you're going to have to struggle. I mean, Elmo's probably a billionaire, wouldn't you say? I mean, to take Elmo. So why does he need your and my tax dollars?
No reason that's been given is one that is good to me. So I'm still waiting on that. Steve Moore, a pleasure to have you back. Thank you so much for being with us today. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. He is a distinguished fellow. That is an official title. One day, I don't know. We've had this conversation before, but if a female is a fellow, are they a fella? I would like to be a distinguished fella in something. I don't even care what. I just want a card that says Annie Fry, distinguished fella. I don't know what it would be in. He's a Trump economic advisor as well. Helped create the Trump tax cuts the first time around, and of course a big champion of getting them passed in the big beautiful bill. You can check out his book, The Trump Economic Miracle and the Plan to Unleash Prosperity Again. In a couple of segments here, maybe 15 minutes from now, we're going to speak with Joe Concha. I'm going to ask him about the crushing blow to the Colbert Show. I know you guys are devastated. You're not devastated. They shouldn't even be surprised. If you have an understanding of how massive of a production the Colbert Show was, just to indoctrinate the listeners and give them that misery loves company constant feedback of anger and rage that lefties have, it's just like, why is Colbert needed on CBS? Well, they said he's not. He's gone. Joe Concha will talk to us about that and the continuous wins of the Donald Trump administration after the greatest comeback ever, which is Concha's book. How's he doing in his presidency? That's coming up at about 1:30. Let's get Ryan back in here, and pretty soon we're going to talk about this YouTube poll. What's the likelihood of President Obama getting arrested? We'll talk about that next. Don't go away. Michael's Flooring Outlet, igotfloored.com. Shopping with people who are excited to see you when you walk in the door. You tell them, hey, I heard about you on the Annie Fry Show, or maybe 97.1. You've heard about them just from listening to people like us. And we love sending you to people like them and Michael's, because the family-owned and operated business has been in St. Louis for decades and decades. They do it right. They care about making sure that they can, through word of mouth, through your recommendations, come to your home, give you a free estimate from in-home, and help guide you to the flooring purchase that is going to cause you to rave about Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give you quality, and they don't sacrifice value when they provide that quality. They are easy to find online at igotfloored.com. You can do some in-store shopping there. You can request the estimate or an in-home estimate as well, right there from the website. They've got everything right there for you, including the different types of products they carry, such as the Techwood Plus line of flooring, the Mohawk Smart Strand line of flooring. It's all there. Give it a go right now by going to igotfloored.com.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel, and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Speeding while driving gives you less time to react. Another car could turn out in front of you. A pedestrian could be walking their dog. Follow the speed limit to keep them safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Rooted in faith, grounded in family. This is the Annie Fry Show.
So the YouTube poll for today is asking, what's the likelihood President Obama is arrested? You've got 4 options. Never, ever going to happen. More than 0%. Very possible. Or imminent. Brad, what are your thoughts on this poll?
Man, I look at this and like my initial gut reaction is never going to happen. But man, it's not 0%. So that's where I would vote more than 0. I'm not saying I'm going to give it a lot more than 0, but it's more than 0.
So the story over the weekend is that Tulsi Gabbard, I'm going to read here from the Fox News report because this is the latest installment. This report was done at 11 o'clock this morning. The Department of Justice confirmed Monday that it has received Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard's criminal referral related to her bombshell claims that Obama-era officials, quote, manufactured and politicized intelligence to create the narrative that Russia was attempting to influence the 2016 presidential election. Fox News has confirmed. The Department of Justice declined further comment, but confirmed to Fox News that the department received the referral. Gabbard released unclassified documents Friday that reportedly show, quote, overwhelming evidence that then President Barack Obama and his national security team laid the groundwork for what would be the years-long Trump-Russia collusion probe after Trump's election win against former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in 2016. Of all of the people who could go down for being a part of this, who would you like to see? Because, first of all, let me ask this question so we're on the same page. Do you believe, Ryan, that Barack Obama led an orchestrated, manufactured attempt to undermine and take down President Trump?
100% believe that.
No questions about that at all.
I don't think that if you're following the evidence, you really can't come to any other conclusion.
Brad, do you believe that?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think that there's any doubt in our minds that this happened. There are lots of doubts in people's minds. But the three of us in here, we've thought this for a really long time. Years. I have had children that are now 4 years old and older since all of this stuff ended up coming to fruition. So it's not a question of really did it happen. The real question here is, can you prove it? And how many people put their hands in the middle and agreed to participate in this soft coup? Who do you want to see? If all the people who could be implicated could be handcuffed, you know, it has been a thing now in politics to pursue the mugshot. Whose would you like to see the most?
All these names are out there. James Clapper, Jim Comey, John Brennan. That guy's real close to the top of the list. John Brennan just lies through his teeth every time he gets on TV, and he has TV contracts now, amazingly. But it's still got to be Obama. I mean, Obama, it was the head of this whole thing. None of this would have happened if the president wasn't in those meetings directing. They know for sure that the president had to have directed this to happen because they know from his daily briefings that he directed them to be a certain way. And the only person that can direct those things is the president. You can't have other people saying that. It has to be the president of the United States saying this is the way the briefing has to read. So you know it was him.
The biggest big fish is clearly Barack Obama.
It has to be him.
It's almost tied with Hillary Clinton.
Oh, I would say this is bigger than Hillary.
Brad, who's the person? I'm not asking you like who you think is the biggest person necessarily, but it's like who are you going to relish? Sit here after a decade of covering this. Who are you going to relish watching get theirs?
Oh, for
sure.
sure.
Is yours Obama?
Well, it's still Obama, but Obama's so savvy that he's kept himself from being as disliked as some of those other guys,
so
like
you think
John Brennan.
There's a lot further for him to fall.
Yes, I do. And he's more of a surprise in this because you like those other names. They're like the swampy deep state people.
The plausible deniability that he's been able to straighten his tie and kind of coolly walk through, bob and weave through the whole thing. He seems as though he could be detached from it, and I don't necessarily think he'd be stupid enough to make the mistakes that he's going to have to. I'm not going to say that he would have to be accountable for. It's a metaphor for that, but it's just inappropriate, I think. Obama definitely, in my mind, has the longest to fall.
Yes. His reputation right now is still he's beloved.
So Obama is still the person who you'd want to see the most.
Yeah, yes, not just because of like my person. I know that's your question is, who
Who's
would
be
you
the most
personally like to see? But I just think Obama has gotten away with so dang much.
Okay, I'm on the other side of that spectrum. I want Adam Schiff to squeal all the way
Well,
home
I hear
like
ya.
a wee little pig that he is. I will just sit there and just like giggle the whole time. I think I will be sad for America if that were to happen to Barack Obama. I would be gleeful to watch Adam Schiff squeal. I think he would.
Well, if we're going down that road, I'm going to throw Nancy Pelosi in there
Nah.
and say I would like to see her account for a lot of the crap she's been involved with.
She definitely has been involved. What about you, Brad?
I'm still Barack Obama. Ryan mentioned that he you said bobbed and weaved. Ryan mentioned that he was very savvy in getting his way through there. Barack Obama has worked really hard his whole life to create this squeaky clean image of this guy who's just doing America's work, and he's out here for the best of Americans. There's no red states. There's no blue states. There's only the United
States. That's
States.
what Obama has done, though. He said his whole predicate for his presidency was he wanted to transform it, and he was telling us how crappy we were.
But he was doing it under the thing that I'm a good guy and I'm going to help us be better, while the whole time he's undermining the United States to the point where he was turning, like, if these allegations are true, he is the threat to democracy, because you said it in the very first segment of the show. They don't want you to pick the vote, who's going to be president. So he did his very best while talking about how sacred democracy is. He did his very best to undermine democracy and say, no, you don't get to pick Donald Trump. We're still in control, and you don't know what's good for it. That man has to fall all the way off the pedestal, all the way to the bottom.
I don't know how you feel about it, Ryan, but I think Obama's been the most on the face honest about it the whole time. He said when he was running for office, he said he wanted a what else could fundamentally transform the United States of America mean? Like, what else could it mean other than to say everything that we are and know ourselves to be, trash that. I'm going to change everything. And then he promised us socialism. He did it with a smile, and he was cool about it, but he told us the entire time. I mean, I'm not surprised that he's a dirty dog here at all. I've been waiting for the opportunity for him to get what he deserves, but I don't think that Barack Obama is lauded in corners around this country anymore. I think people on both sides of the aisle feel pretty ticked at him.
I don't know. I think there are a lot of both of what you guys are saying. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm arbitrating between the two, but what you're saying is that Obama was very honest in saying that he was going to be a radical, basically. I think what Brad's saying is that there is a very compliant media apparatus that has taken what he said that was radical and very open
but that's
about
on the media.
And,
that's not on Obama.
And shaped an image of him, though, to the rest of America and to a lot of people even now today who still think that he's just a good guy. He's a family man. He's a progressive. He was just in it for the right reasons.
Yes, duh. Because, I mean, even we had Chuck Todd and Jake Tapper. I was thinking Scarborough, but it was Chuck Todd and Tapper. We're just having their little podcast conversation about how, we really did everything we could to paint Joe Biden like he was a hardworking dad from Scranton. He'd get on the train every day, and he would, commute to work so he could be at home. But they say in that actual podcast, they're like, do you know that, like, the day that his wife died, that he was, like, he prioritized his Senate campaign over being with his family. They are telling you there are a lot of ways that we could have packaged this differently, and they're kind of doing like a mea culpa about it, and we're all saying way too freaking late for that. While all of the media was eating out of Barack Obama's hands, for what reason? I don't know. Obviously, they felt like they had a good relationship there in one way or another. Barack Obama was out there telling everybody that he was a radical. He was saying it. So if you have 2 ears and 2 brain cells to rub together to make a complete thought yourself without letting the media come in and try to persuade you that he's just a really good guy, he's so cool. Have you seen him, walking around the White House with his sleeves rolled up?
He hangs out with Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. How modern and cool is that? I don't think it takes much to look at Barack Obama and listen to what he's saying. Affordable health care, socialized health care. I mean, he was telling us the whole time what he wanted to do, and then he went and did it. The media absolutely gave him the massive assist that was needed. But Obama, to me, he's always said who he was going to be. It required an apparatus to support him in that regard. But I don't think that he's some sort of deceiver. I think he's the benefactor of a lot of...
Well, he's a deceiver in that he's gotten away with a lot of crap.
Yes, but they paved the way for him. I think he was telling us what he was doing the whole time, and since nobody else was calling him on it, except for maybe the Fox Newses of the world, the Joe Conchas of the world, consistently calling him on it, I think he's gotten away with a lot, and he was able to be partially honest throughout the course of it. I think Barack Obama hates America, and I don't think he's ever lied about that. Let's take a quick break. Joe Concha, Fox News contributor, on the Annie Fry Show next. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Uneven concrete in your home, your place of business is an eyesore, yes, but it is also a safety hazard. If you have unlevel driveway, concrete, sidewalks, walkways, even on your decks, your pool decks, your patios, you want to make sure that you can solve that in a smart, cost-effective way. That comes with a phone call to Home Shield Foundation Repair. 314-227-9636. 314-227-9636. Online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com, you'll learn a little bit about this locally family-owned and operated St. Louis company at Home Shield Foundation Repair, like Matt Hayes and Blair. They were in to play X's and O's on Friday. These are salt-of-the-earth people. They're wonderful. They're kind. They're honest. And when you have this problem and you want to say, gosh, I don't know, what's it gonna cost to fix this? They'll come to your house and they'll tell you before you have to make any commitment whatsoever. You just need to give them a call. Tell them Annie sent you, of course. 314-227-9636. Solve this problem once and for all. 314-227-9636. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon, along with Bob and Tammy Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Tuesday, August 5th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Here are Bob and Tammy with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired? Do you have your personalized income plan in place? Would you like to learn why linking to the market is much safer than owning the market? And how in 39 years we have never lost a penny of our clients' money?
Would you like to learn how to automatically lock in your market gains every year without having to sell? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any future losses? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisors of my show, Bob and Tammy Kershaw, at the Frontenac Hilton, Tuesday, August 5th at 6:30. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
When my wife and I got married after both graduating law school, we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Ultima had to give me her gas card just to drive home. We never could have imagined that one day we would have the largest injury firm in the world and $25 billion in money collected and counting. As good Catholics, we had 4 children fast. They all work in the firm today. Our family protecting yours. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. But our greatest gift was years away, grandchildren. Today we have 6 and counting. It's the greatest joy that we have ever experienced. I think about them all day long. Our family promises to protect your family should you need us. Call us. It's easy. Visit forthepeople.com and make sure you hug your grandchildren. God's final gift to us. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Today's very big question is, what is the likelihood President Obama is arrested? You have a few options there. We're going to give you our own opinion on this in just 15 minutes. Well, less than that now. We said 1:45, right? So we're going to stick to that. It's the YouTube live chat poll. Let us know what you think. Be a part of this discussion today. It is 1:35, and this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Still leading. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Been a great week for free speech and speaking truth to power, without a doubt. Look, the circumstantial evidence, and that's all we have, is as follows. CBS has said that they are canceling Stephen Colbert after next season for financial reasons. At the same time, we also know, as you said in the intro, that it is the #1 show in its time slot. And we also know that the new parent company for CBS, or they hope to be the new parent company, has spent money on other things. So it's very curious, and we have to also make note that Stephen Colbert is unafraid to, again, speak truth to power. He does it in a very bipartisan way over the years. And comedy and parody is an important part of a democratic ecosystem, and the chilling effect is certainly concerning.
Oh, what you know, Joe. Joe Concha, Fox News contributor.
So, Joe, I know it's a sad week for you. Colbert gets the boot, and it's because he spoke truth to power. I thought you might have some thoughts on that.
And he did it in a bipartisan way. Was that person, seriously, on drugs? But what? That analysis was the most profoundly dishonest and unhinged thing I've ever heard in my life.
Joe, it was the former NPR chief.
Of course. Oh, U.S. taxpayer dollars. No longer going there, thank God. But,
another win.
Yeah, my hair hurts. I got to explain this one more time. I'll be happy to for your rather large audience there, Annie. Look, Stephen Colbert is getting paid $20 million a year. They had more than 100 staffers on that show for a show that's basically two people talking for most of the hour. For one, it's not even an hour without commercials. That's more like 38 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And then the production budget was $130 million per year. So overall, Colbert was losing anywhere from $40 to $50 million per year for the past several years, and that is not sustainable. CBS and Paramount are in the business of making money, not hemorrhaging it, and that's exactly what was happening here, and he had to go. It's that simple.
Yeah, all I can think about, I don't know if you ever sit down and actually watch these people. I know you study the media, which is why we love talking to you about it. I only see the clips that conservatives can't believe actually happened on X. That's where I consume my Colbert. But I don't remember conservatives, Republicans ever going on a show. I don't know if they were invited and they said no. But is there more partisan effort in late night TV right now, which is a pretty tall order because relatively they all lean to the left? Colbert seemed like the worst of them.
It was easily the worst of them. Yeah, Kimmel's a very close second. I shouldn't say easily the worst, but yeah. And I decided to look at the guest list. Who appeared on Colbert's show the most over the last 10 years since he launched in 2015? Bernie Sanders, 21 times. Okay, the Cherokee Chris Rock, who is Elizabeth Warren, 16 times. All right, but here's the stat to end all stats. Okay, Anderson Cooper, Jake Tapper, and Rachel Maddow have appeared on that show a combined 40 times.
Holy cow!
These are not funny people. They are insufferable. And I could go through the list. Stacey Abrams loses 2 gubernatorial races and still got on 4 times, which was the same amount as Seth Rogen, who's actually, a comedian. So that's the thing. He took this format that Letterman handed to him, quite frankly, Leno and Johnny Carson before that, Conan O'Brien, and said, you know what, I'm just going to do MSNBC at night. And for the first couple of years when Trump won, it worked. But then it got so old and so stale and so predictable, and those are three things you can't be in comedy, that people stopped watching. And now Colbert, despite being in more homes and having, as I said, huge production budget, 100 staffers, 18 writers, still gets 1 billion viewers less than Greg Gutfeld, who, trust me, I know where Greg's team sits. It's maybe 8 people.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
he's able to do that for virtually nothing compared to Colbert.
We have a lot of we've had Joe DeVito. He's been in studio with us many times. Those comedians come through St. Louis, and we have them come in the studio, and they talk about how effective they are and efficient they are, and how a lot of people in media now can't even imagine what you would do with all of that money if you had that in your production budget.
Seriously, and I don't understand where $130 million is going, per year. Again, it's mainly a conversation between two people. All right, you pay the band. I guess there's something there that may cost some money, but I mean, it just seems like it's so typical, actually, that Colbert presided over a show where spending and making money were much like the way Democrats actually govern, right? It's the same thing. Yeah, we're just going to throw money at the problem. And, yeah, if we lose money, no big deal, because we're speaking truth to power, whatever that means, in Stephen Colbert's world, where, again, this is a guy whose most viral clip ever was when he did a dance routine with vaccine needles during COVID to urge everybody to get the vaccine. The second most viral probably was when he said that we should save the environment and everybody should drive an electric car. And he doesn't mind paying $5 per gas under Joe Biden because, well, he has an electric car. It's like, well, dude, most people can't afford electric cars.
Right.
They can't. So they can't afford $5 per gallon gas. But he was just so pretentious and pious. And you're right. Just he was the worst of them. But Kimmel is not that far behind.
Yeah, and I wonder what happens next from. You talked about the leading with Bernie Sanders there. Like when I want to relax and kind of have a little chuckle sitting on my couch at night after the day is done, I'm not like, gosh, I'd really like to see more Bernie Sanders. And Jimmy Kimmel, I don't think an angrier person in entertainment television than Jimmy Kimmel. What happens next for late night TV? Is this a shift? I mean, Greg Gutfeld's show is obviously reshaping the landscape, but it sounds like, I think I heard they're not going to replace Colbert with another nighttime show. Is that accurate?
Yeah, the Late Show actual brand, the franchise is going away completely. So they're not going to obviously bring anybody back in his place. And that's because the late night model is officially broken. We see that ad revenues are down, Andy, now from 2018. 50%. All right. So just in 7 years, 50% of the ad revenue is gone, and the numbers go down with it. So, yeah, Jon Stewart's going to be next. You could save the tape right now because Skydance is going to acquire Paramount. Skydance also owns Comedy Central. They don't want to lose money over there either, paying Stewart, an enormous amount of money just to do a show 1 day a week. He's like the Rachel Maddow of Comedy Central. And I got to think also with Kimmel, I think he'll go away because they're all losing money. So this broke the dam. And the only guy that's going to be left standing is Greg Gutfeld because he has the numbers to support it. And again, he's not costing his network a fortune to produce that show.
Exactly. Last question for you, Joe Concha, before we let you go. Is Donald Trump in some way, shape, or form responsible? Like, did he win so big that their model no longer has value?
Well, if you listen to Brian Stelter, he says, well, the only reason why Colbert is being canceled is because Donald Trump ordered it, because Trump's only been getting hammered by this show for the past 10 years, but then suddenly decided he couldn't take it anymore. But overall, the culture, yes, is changing in this country. I mean, we see it now. I remember Tom Brady when he was with the New England Patriots, and a reporter discovered a MAGA hat in his locker.
Gasp.
And then Brady was like completely pressured. You're going to apologize for that, right? And Brady's like not the most outspoken guy. When he was playing, just kind of said all the right things.
Right.
So he just said, "Oh yeah, somebody gave it to me. It's in my locker. No big deal." Now NFL players, LPGA players, they're all proud to say they voted for Trump. And that's the shift now. It's like, oh, you're angry that I voted for Trump? F you. Sorry. I like lower inflation. I like a border that's closed. I like the fact that Iran can't launch a nuclear weapon in a couple of months or years if they wanted to. I like all of these things, and I'm not going to apologize for it anymore. So, yeah, that's the culture shift we're seeing where political correctness and wokeness is definitely going by the wayside.
Yep, 100%. Joe Concha, we are very grateful for your time today. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Absolutely, Annie. Take care.
You as well. Bye-bye. Joe Concha is a Fox News contributor. He is also the author of an absolutely amazing book. It is a historical document. That is my assessment of it. It's called The Greatest Comeback Ever, Inside Trump's Big, Beautiful Campaign. It is available right now, and I really do encourage you, if you're an audiobook person, he reads it, and he walks you through, because he was he was writing this book as the campaign was happening, and of course he didn't know all the things that would materialize during this campaign and ultimately how it would end up with Donald Trump winning. But I literally have goosebumps right now thinking about listening to him tell the story of the campaign, the true comeback from Donald Trump, and again, everything being thrown in President Trump's way, and everything made him stronger every time. And the American people said, "Yeah, I'm going with that. He's a winner." All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to give you my answer to our YouTube poll question. What is the likelihood President Obama is arrested? This is an actual question that I was asked over the weekend in a conversation I was having. And one of these 4 answers is actually the response that I gave back to the person who asked me this question. When we come back, I'll tell you which one it was. The first one is never, ever going to happen. The second one is more than 0%. Number 3, very possible. And number 4, it's imminent. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Mama tried to tell me so. Papa wouldn't let me go. Couldn't even see a movie show. So what you know?
Stewart's American Mortgage is the home of the bagel loan, and I have been working through, you've probably heard me talk about wanting to build a home, and I'm trying to think of all things mortgage, lending, borrowing, down payments, everything. I'm telling you right now, when I am having these questions, I go to Stewie and I do what he tells me to do. I trust him that much. Now, that might mean a ton to you. That might mean absolutely nothing to you. If my endorsement of him is not what gets you to call him to make sure that you get the best new mortgage or the best deal on your refinance mortgage. I've refied twice. I intend to go through Stewart's American Mortgage to get all the financing that I need to build my next home. When you call 314-324-4440 and talk to Stewie about the bagel loan, you're going to be able to get a loan, your mortgage, done through him that costs you $0 to do it. 0. That's fantastic. That's like can't be beat. Whatever low rate you're going to qualify for, he's going to help you get that. You're going to be able to generate those pre-approval letters once you're pre-approved without having to go to a third party. But when you close, $0. It's a no-brainer. Call my friend Stewie. Text my friend Stewie. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
Mark Cox doesn't fake it. He's lived it here in St. Louis. Pro-freedom, pro-family, pro-truth. If it matters to Missouri, it matters to Mark. Mark Cox, mornings on 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
Smart talk, strong values. This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. So we're talking about the YouTube live chat poll. We need your votes in this. What's the likelihood President Obama is arrested? Never, ever going to happen. More than 0%. Very possible or imminent. Ryan, I told you that one of these answers was the real direct quote answer that I gave somebody who asked me this question this weekend. And you predicted that I said what?
You said more than 0%.
Correct. That was my answer this weekend. But upon thinking of it and asking that question here, I am torn between two of these answers, leaning away from more than 0%. Does it feel like this weekend, with the release of information from the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, do you feel like there's a shift change at all?
Yes, I do. This week will be a big tell, because if she continues, as they've said she will, to drop more and more of this so that we can sort of digest it slowly, because if she came out all at once, it would be a lot. If she continues to bring more and more, I think that probability goes up.
That he could possibly be arrested.
That he could be arrested.
I don't, but what does it even look like?
I don't know.
One of the things that I did say in this conversation was, I don't think that he would, if the arrest was imminent, I don't think he'll be around to be arrested. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, he's out living in Papua New Guinea or whatever, right?
Something, somewhere. I would imagine that he knows somebody around this globe that would be like, come over here.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like, would we ever get to see that? The other question that I have for people, you can leave this in the comments as well, is, do you feel like you need it? If everything is exposed and there is no perp walk of former President of the United States, Barack Obama, is it a total failure? Is there productivity for the future securing of, the Democrats would say democracy is at stake. The constitutional republic is at stake. What was it, a republic, if you can keep it? Now's the time where we make sure that we can keep it with transparency and accountability.
The evidence showed, the intelligence showed that, again, Russia did not have either the intent nor the capability to be able to impact the outcome of the United States election. So it was very striking when we look back again at the documents that I declassified and released that shows there was a shift in early December, the first week of December. Again, another document was produced by the intelligence community, a president's daily brief that was consistent with every other assessment that was done previously leading up to the election. Russia did not, this is after the election now, did not attempt to affect the outcome of the American election.
I mean, it didn't happen. Wonder if I don't know. Where do you even go to see what the lefties are saying? Like, where are they collected?
Well, I saw a little bit of mainstream media on this weekend. I don't know if you did, but they are citing a separate report that said that there might have been some issue somewhere at some point. Like, it was very vague, and
it's getting a little shaky.
They're not. Here's the problem, and this is what a lot of redirection looks like. They're not addressing the specific allegations that Tulsi Gabbard DNI is bringing up. They're painting a separate picture of Barack Obama, of this time period. So I was glad to see them talking about it at all, because my fear was that this thing was going to exist in a vacuum and not even be talked about at all. So they are talking about it, but they're very much trying to explain it away.
I saw, Ron says that maybe people are talking about it on Blue Sky. Is Blue Sky Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I heard someone call it Blue Cry one time, and that's how it's the only way that I refer to it as Blue Cry. And I'm not there. I don't want to give them the satisfaction of participating or downloading anything and listening to what they have to say. Grant on YouTube said there's not a snowball's chance in hell that Obama will ever be arrested or held accountable in any way. So here's the question. Can there be accountability that doesn't result in Obama in handcuffs in jail in a jumpsuit?
Yes, because this, a lot of people this weekend also comparing this to Watergate and saying Watergate took down a president, and he resigned.
An active president.
An active president at the time, resigned in disgrace. I could see that being this.
But what is so just his legacy?
His legacy is tarnished and destroyed. He already has a lot less power than he used to.
Think about his beautiful, well-attended presidential library in Chicago and how popular that is. And if his legacy is tarnished, it will just be sitting there in ruin.
It's true, but he had some sweet parties during COVID.
Also, his library is not finished and nobody wants to work on it. So,
and it's way over budget.
Yeah, it's a disaster. It's like, oh, wow, he really mismanaged the finances on this thing. And it's super ugly. Like, when it was supposed to be finished, it was going to be a hideous eyesore. And, I mean, if I were in Chicago and Barack Obama's presidential library was there, I would be interested in going and seeing the presentation that he has to put forth. This is one of the things that nobody's talking about right now because it's post-Donald Trump in office. But the magnificence of the Trump presidential library that is going to be built on the tears of all of the people who tried to screw him over this because he keeps suing people and winning. Another $40 million or whatever it is from CBS, that is going towards the presidential library.
I forgot about that.
It's over and over and over again. The presidential library, please have a CBS Stephen Colbert roller coaster or something at this thing where when we go to Florida, I think the library is supposed to be in Florida, when we go to Palm Beach to visit the presidential library, you can ride the Stephen Colbert crashes into a mountain roller coaster or the Splash Mountain of when he wins his lawsuits against people in New York that have the civil lawsuits.
Here's a go-kart ride. It's called Gone in 60 Minutes.
There you go. Exactly. These things need to happen, and they're going to be paid for. By the people who tried to steal, and we have evidence from it, steal everything from him. And somehow or another, my personal belief is this is God ordained. Yes, I said it. I don't know how, nothing else makes sense. That he would be able to navigate everything that's being thrown at him. But I mean, I would say if you're a Bible reader or a Bible believing person, the amount of broken people who God appoints to lead and the on the face brokenness of those individuals as they're leading, sometimes their demise is very, very sad and tragic, and sometimes it's not. But it's not like God only picks people that a certain subsect of Christians say, that's the person who's God's choice. That's not the way it works. There's brokenness in front of leading all of the time, and that's biblical. So could God ordain Donald Trump to be a leader? Yes. Could God ordain Barack Obama to be a leader? Yes. And again, all of that is not to have Republicans or Democrats win elections. It's to bring his people home. So that's beside the point. But thinking
Preach.
about... Yeah.
You got 30 seconds. Preach. Come on.
Sorry, God, I'm on a hard break. I just think about this presidential library and how when Donald Trump builds a presidential library, it's going to be on time and under budget, and you're going to have the Barack Obama library unfinished,
still not done,
in the middle of Brandon Johnson's Chicago, not done, and Donald Trump got the Democrats to pay for it. Just like he was saying, it wasn't the wall that Mexico was going to have pay for. It was the libs that were going to pay for his presidential library, and I want to be first in line to go into that library. We'll be right back.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Dare I say that you might be thinking about your furnace? I know that it's 172 degrees outside right now, or that's the real feel, or whatever it might be. But it is getting close to the end of July here, which means fall is not too terribly far off. So we're in the middle of AC, of course, right now, AC time. But when the furnace is some somewhere in the near future, you might be thinking about a whole HVAC replacement in your home. Maybe you're thinking about installing a new one. Call Air Comfort Service to make sure that you access the best deals in the business with quality service, the best products at Air Comfort Service. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. Here's what you're going to access. A free estimate on a new air conditioner or an entire heating and cooling system. They will have an offer for 0% financing up to 72 months. And you also may qualify for utility rebates and federal tax credits. They're going to set you up with the best possible deal for you. 314-513-0091. AirComfortService.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
The LA mayor doubles down on Lisa Brady. Fox News. Mayor Karen Bass just calling again for a complete withdrawal of military members from the city, arguing the deployment after riots over immigration enforcement was unnecessary.
They are not authorized to make arrests. They are not doing the work of our local and state law enforcement. They're not trained to do that, and they were never needed to do that.
The Trump administration has argued sending troops was necessary to restore order. The U.S. Defense Secretary recently ordering the deployment to end for about half of the National Guard troops there. And we're just getting word the Marines are being sent home, a Pentagon spokesman calling them instrumental in restoring order. A second suspect in custody for the weekend shooting of an off-duty Border Patrol agent, wounded during an attempted robbery in New York City. Homeland Security officials say both suspects are in the U.S. illegally, and between them have at least 12 prior arrests. The FAA now investigating Friday's close call between an Air Force bomber and a Delta regional jet operated by SkyWest Airlines over North Dakota.
Traveling from Minneapolis, SkyWest Flight 3788 was on approach to Minot, North Dakota, when the pilot turned suddenly to avoid a nearby military aircraft.
Fox's Jonathan Seri.
The B-52 Stratofortress was flying from Minot Air Force Base nearby. The SkyWest pilot explained to passengers while the Air Force Base has radar, the small commercial airport they were flying into does not, which required the controller in the tower to monitor the skies visually.
Actor Malcolm Jamal Warner has died in what Costa Rican officials are calling an accidental drowning yesterday afternoon as he was swimming at a beach on Costa Rica's Caribbean coast. Jamal Warner, best known for playing teenage son Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. He was 54. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
It may be hard to believe, but today will be the coolest day of the week. Partly sunny, hot and humid. Couple of thunderstorms here and there, 95. Warm and humid tonight, partly cloudy, 77. Tuesday, partly sunny, hot and humid. Couple of spot storms, 97. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, probably Sunday too. Same story, but close to 99. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show Live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love
the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
You know, we were talking about presidential libraries and the fact that President Trump has sued a bunch of people and won millions of dollars. Let's first talk about the presidential library. Barack Obama, the last president. I have here the budgets for the estimated cost for presidential library budgets. That includes construction plus endowment. I can go all the way back to FDR. His was $376,000, which is funny because the man who overbloated government down at the bottom of my list. Let's see what inflation has done since then, since we spent money that we didn't have to do things in the government. Bill Clinton, his opening year for Bill Clinton's was 2004. He would have finished his presidency in 2000. Because that was the hanging Chad election. Al Gore did not win. His was $165 million, the Clinton Presidential Library. Then you had George W. Bush's Presidential Center in Dallas, Texas. It opened in 2013. Estimated cost $500 million. So 2013 would have been 2000. He would have been president until January of 2009. So 4 years later, his presidential library is up and running. Barack Obama, Obama Presidential Center, Chicago, Illinois. Opening year, expected 2026. Estimated cost $830 million plus. That's the projected
cost.
Estimated, yes.
Wow.
So I asked, I'm looking up here, and it says that the costs have escalated dramatically over time from under $2 million, FDR, Truman, to nearly $1 billion for Obama's library. You can't, that's not apples to apples because the dollar is not apples to apples over the course of these decades. So then I thought to myself, how much money has President Trump won specifically from these places that he sued for defamation mostly, which it's hard to defame a public figure. It's very difficult to win a defamation or libel case against a public figure because the burden of proof of harm is so high.
Yeah, it's super high because it has to be definitively false what you said.
ABC News, the Stephanopoulos defamation suit. This is one of them. In December 2024, Trump settled defamation suit, I might add, against ABC News related to George Stephanopoulos' on-air statement. ABC, and this is where I believe Stephanopoulos, didn't he basically say that Donald Trump was a rapist?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump said, I'm not a rapist. I'm going to sue you. And they settled. ABC agreed to pay $15 million to a nonprofit associated with Trump's presidential library. $15 million. Cha-ching. Meta platforms. Facebook, Instagram account ban. In January 2025, Meta settled Trump's lawsuit regarding his 2021 suspension from its platforms. I don't even really remember covering this, but this said January 2025. Of the $25 million settlement from Meta, $22 million is earmarked for his library.
Okay.
$37 million total so
Thank
far.
you.
X, formerly Twitter. In February 2025, Trump reached a $10 million settlement with Elon Musk's X over his account ban. A portion of that payment was allocated to the library, which is funny that Elon Musk in February of 2025 had to settle that case that was really the reason why Trump was suing was really one of the reasons why Elon Musk bought Twitter from the censor
Yeah, that's
people,
unfortunate.
which is probably why it's just $10 million.
I would think so. I remember seeing this story.
I bet Elon Musk was like, just take $10 million off my donation to your library. Yeah, have a SpaceX section in your library. Paramount Global, CBS, 60 Minutes, distortion claim. That's the one as of late here. In July of 2025, you are here. Paramount agreed to pay $16 million to settle Trump's $20 billion defamation suit over alleged misleading edits of 60 Minutes interview. All funds go to the presidential library with no apology required.
That's interesting.
And I love that Donald Trump's like, I don't need an apology. I'll just take $16 million. Total directed towards the library so far. Summary of contributions. ABC, Meta, X, and Paramount, $63 million. That's going to the library.
So we're, what, halfway there?
Not even close. It also talks about this. I have this on ChatGPT. Not directly tied to lawsuits, there are other revenue sources that are in play for the presidential library. The first one is a surplus funds from the Trump-Vance inaugural committee. So they raised money for the inauguration, everything that goes along with that. They have about $239 million sitting there.
$239 million?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's a seed.
Mm-hmm. Now, that's a pretty nice library.
$239 million. Add that $63 million. Now you're over $300 million.
I'd sit in there and read Moby Dick.
And then and everybody's got their thing. Proceeds from Trump-branded merchandise is the other one. It says Instant Pot 4547 collab. Is that Instant Pot?
Wait, what?
That's what it says. I don't know what ChatGPT is talking about.
This sounds like it's like you just hit on the casino floor.
Have you seen, just to sidestep here, you know that meme that's on the internet and it's all the old people sitting by the slot machines pushing buttons?
Yeah, just pressing.
They're all just like lifeless.
Yeah.
Pressing buttons. I saw one that said, Democrats deleting their "no one is above the law" tweets.
I saw the same thing this morning.
I know, it's funny. It's not often that a meme makes me giggle so much that I have to explain the meme on the radio, but that one was funny. It says Instant Pot 4547 collab. I'm going to need to look that up a little bit more. And then the other one is Trump-themed porcelain and novelties.
Oh, my gosh.
Lenox and Soho apparel, all proceeds directed to the future presidential library fund.
Wait, the novelties don't include the sneakers and the Bibles and all that stuff? This is other stuff?
I don't know. I mean, I think they probably do.
Okay. The Instapot thing. No, I was thinking of Neti Pot.
If Trump could swing a deal there, he'd still do it.
Trump org buys Neti Pot.
I've never been to a presidential library. Have either of you?
No.
Yeah.
Which one?
The Lincoln Presidential Library in Springfield.
Oh, actually, I have been to
crap,
that one.
maybe I have. He's like the best president.
About that.
All right, Brad.
I mean, I thought it's great. It's kind of a museum more than a library, and
Isn't that what all of them are?
That's what they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just I think they kind of get to tell their story.
I wish more of them were like Christian Science reading rooms, where you just go and you just kind of chill, maybe get some coffee, and you learn about Bill Clinton.
Do you do that?
No, but I understand that that's what they are.
Christian Science reading rooms, like, give me everything you got on Bill Clinton.
I don't know enough about Christian Science reading rooms or whatever it is, the presidential libraries, to
comment.
Put the two together.
Let's do a deep dive into.
I'm afraid of it already.
The Instapot, because I really would like to know what in the world that is.
When we come back, you can do a little break research here. We'll get Ethan in for the local and sports news segment coming up next. Can't wait to hear what it's titled this week. Of course, Ethan's sports and local news can be named by you. You can tweet at Radio Wiggins what you'd like to name the segment. You can also get on the Odyssey app where you stream 97.1 in crystal clear connection anywhere you go, anytime. On the Odyssey app, you find 97.1 FM Talk. There's a little microphone next to the play button. You can record into that phone that you have and record an intro to Ethan's news, sports, local segment here. We might use it. And Brian hates doing work so much that it doesn't even probably have to be good, and he'll still use it.
I'm doing so little that I didn't even hear what you said. But Instapot has a versatile kitchen of multiple recipes, the top which are pot beef stew and chicken fried rice. That's what my research is done with Instapot.
You're just finding out what an Instapot is?
I'm finding out what an Instapot is, and
Lord
there's
have
lots
mercy.
of great recipes. Apparently.
Ethan's next. Don't go away.
You are in sight, and the day is right. She's a hunter, you're the fox. A gentle voice that talks to you won't talk forever. It is the night.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Straight Realty has always been an industry leader when it comes to commissions, so it should come as no surprise that the recent Realtor settlement has only empowered us to continue offering our sellers even better rates. We now list homes for only 2%. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
When's the last time you gave your home's exterior a little love? Hi, it's Kim, and if your siding is cracking, it's fading, or just doesn't stand up to our St. Louis weather, it's time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design because they're experts in James Hardy siding, which is this durable, low-maintenance option, and it looks beautiful. Plus, you have customizable colors and textures, and so you can give your home a completely new look while protecting it for decades. Don't wait until the small problems turn into big ones. Visit lakesidearty.com to schedule your free consultation.
Big news for gun owners. Mark Cox here for the Range St. Louis West. You know, the big, beautiful bill eliminates the $200 tax stamp on suppressors next January, but the Range is celebrating right now. They're holding a sweepstakes for a new suppressor at the Range. The Range will give you a $300 credit toward the new suppressor, and they'll pay for the tax stamp. Suppressors protect your hearing, and they improve your accuracy. Sign up to win at therangestl.com/971 before August 15th.
This year, fuel prices have been a bit of a roller coaster. Here in St. Louis, drivers finally have some relief at the pump. But when it comes to groceries and food, it's still pretty bumpy out there. Well, you know what can make your ride smoother? The Upside app. With Upside, you can earn an average 8% cash back on grocery or restaurant purchases and up to 25 cents per gallon on gas, which means there's money to be earned even when fuel prices are low. There are hundreds of nearby locations like Schnucks, Burger King, Arby's, and Taco Bell. Download the app and see why millions of Upside users have racked up almost $1 billion in cash back earned. For a limited time, get a 10% bonus on your first purchase with promo code STL11. That's promo code STL11 for an extra 10% cash back bonus. With Upside, you can roll up to a nearby grocery store, restaurant, or gas station and coast straight to cashback earnings. Don't forget to use promo code STL11. Upside. Cashback smarter. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
Are you looking for an easy way to get a daily detox? Active Liver is the easy way to get a daily detox to keep you healthy and feeling your best. You can find Active Liver in the vitamin aisle at your local CVS or online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com.
Annie Fry is back because truth doesn't take a break. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We're going to get to Ethan's local segment here in just a hot second, but we have Instapot Trump news.
Okay, Instapot and Trump. How do they merge? Trump is selling a MAGA-branded Instapot.
Yes?
That is what it is.
Is this old?
No, this is pretty new. It's only within the last month that he started selling Donald Trump-inspired Instapots.
Does Instapot know?
I don't know. But I will tell you that it's just a pressure cooker. I don't know how it's Trump related, but he is selling a pressure cooker, and I guess it's made some money for the presidential library. I have not seen this at all.
When the lid opens, I want it to speak like Donald Trump, be like, "This is the best rice you've ever made." It's beautiful. Better than everybody else's rice.
Yeah, that's good stew.
Everybody will want your rice.
People must know about this, though, because they've sold enough that it was in your list. So,
does it have like a 47 or his face on it, or what makes it?
I can't find anything that would make this Trump related, other than that
gold?
Trump is selling it. That's it. So, there you go. There's your update, and now here's this.
Okay, Ethan, you ready?
I guess so.
Hold up. Check it out.
Sports and local.
Beefin' with Ethan.
That's a repeat, right?
Yeah,
Beefin' with Ethan.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of new requests.
Don't say we are taking time off. Is that what you're saying?
I was going to say we have a bunch of new ones coming.
Ryan, I sent you like 9.
I sent him some too.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch.
The people want new and exciting and flashing.
Yes.
And you gave them beefing with Ethan.
Well, here, I'll do this one.
Oh,
instead.
God.
Check it out. Sports and local.
Sponsored by Boredom.
Okay.
Take it away, Irfin.
I knew something worse was coming.
Irfin, it could get worse and worse.
I knew something worse was coming.
All right, what do you got for us?
You jerk. All right, hello, friends, and Ryan. Today, well, yesterday was National Ice Cream Day, for those that don't know.
Hello, friends, and Ryan is a T-shirt.
And I bet if somebody wanted that T-shirt, I know somebody who might make that T-shirt. And she's sitting in this room.
Brad?
It's too easy.
She's such a good girl.
In honor
He's
of
a good girl.
In honor of National Ice Cream Day, I did.
Is that today?
It was yesterday.
God, I missed it.
I missed it too.
It's okay. You guys can celebrate a day late. That is allowed. That is okay. It's July. It's hot out. You know, it's meant to cool
Every
you off.
day is
all right?
ice cream day.
Amen to that. So, did a little research and looked into what are Illinoisans and Missourians' favorite flavors of ice cream.
Butter pecan.
Butter pecan does make the list.
Okay.
It
How
is
many,
on the
how many
list,
are
yep.
on there? Let's guess them.
For Illinois, I
100.
have 5 for Illinois, 5 for Missouri, and then I also have like the most favorite of the
Vanilla,
United
it
States.
has to be on the list.
Mm-hmm.
No, it won't be.
Vanilla is on the list for Illinois. Vanilla is combined with something else on Missouri's list.
Is it a chocolate swirl with vanilla?
Basically.
Okay.
Twist?
Basically, yes. Any other guesses? Any other guesses?
Chocolate chip?
Nope.
Cookie dough?
Sherbert.
Cookie dough
Strawberry?
is on the list. Strawberry is on the list.
Seems like a pretty basic list.
What's your favorite ice cream? What's the go-to, Ryan?
I like Flavor Burst.
What's that mean? Oh, no, that's not an ice cream flavor. That's something you get at an
It's
ice cream
many
store.
flavors.
That's not, you don't buy that in a carton.
True.
Pick one. In a carton. Prairie Farm style.
Okay. I really like the gooey butter cake ones that have come out recently.
Bluebell?
That one is fantastic.
They brought that in to here, and they wanted us to try it. We try it, then we talk about it on the air. It's a smart move.
It's really good. It works.
And I saw it. I'm like, gosh, I don't know if I need gooey butter cake and ice cream. And then we got these little tasty cups. I'm like, that's the most amazing thing ever.
Oh my gosh.
It was so good.
It was so good. Horchata ice cream has come out
Ooh, I bet
recently.
that's
It's really
good.
good. Cinnamon ice cream.
Coconut.
Ooh, coconut
Ooh, I
is
bet
really
if
good.
it's flavored coconut, then yes. If it's got coconut shavings
You
in
can
it,
get
bleh.
acai bowl from Smoothie King. I'm a big fan of them. But they have a coconut blend underneath. It's coconut sorbet, and it's like I will knock people over to get that.
Sorbet is something that they only serve in rich places.
Smoothie King? What do you got, Ethan?
The hoity-toity.
We'll start, since there's more folks from Illinois in this room.
Folks, don't you dare. Don't join him.
You know what he said earlier, too, when I was walking by him when you were interviewing Joe Concha? He said often with a T.
Yeah.
Often.
Is that not how
Is that right or is that wrong?
I can't remember which
Often?
side of
What is
it
it,
we were
silent?
all on. But I
Often.
remember that we debated it.
I don't know that we did.
Often.
We did.
I would say often.
Yeah, I thought you did.
Is the
It's just
T
easy.
And I
silent?
say often.
No, I think you could do both. Unlike folks. Where
I
you
thought this was going to be a much bigger debate. And now here we are, everybody's friends.
No, it's
Except for
friends
you
and
and me.
Ryan. Yeah. What Illinois versus Missouri? Are there any
Okay.
simpatico agreements?
Not a lot. A
That's-
little bit, but not a lot. So
that tracks.
I'll go through Missouri's list first, starting with number 5. Very disappointed in number 5. Cherry? What are we doing, Missouri?
no
Unbelievable.
kidding.
Be better. Number 4 is Moose Tracks. 3, cookies and cream. 2, vanilla and chocolate swirl. And number 1 is cookie dough. Missouri is the only state in the country that's favorite ice cream
cookie
flavor
dough?
is cookie dough. I couldn't believe that. That's my favorite flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say that's probably mine.
In Illinois, number 5 is butter pecan. Number 4, vanilla. 3, cookie dough. 2, strawberry. And number 1, Moose Tracks.
That's weird.
You guys
What's
Moose
weird
Tracks
about it?
people here?
I do like Moose Tracks.
I don't know.
I don't even know what's all in it.
I'm okay with it. Sometimes I get Moose Tracks. I just eat any ice cream that's in front of me. I just don't care.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're not really like the...
I don't really love
Picky one.
chocolate ice cream or chocolate cake that much, though.
I like
Would
chocolate
you
cookie
eat pineapple coconut ice cream?
If it didn't have shavings,
Heck yeah, I would.
if it was
Yeah.
just flavored.
Yeah, that'd be
Pineapple
good.
coconut ice cream is the number 1 trending upward ice cream in the country. From in the past year, was up in Instacart purchases 37%.
Wow.
That blew me away when you said that.
Shut up. 25. Pistachio ice cream was up 25%. Green tea ice
Guys,
cream.
I know you think that there's a lot of hostility here and you're worried about their relationship, but I just want you to know that the hostility is real.
Only on the air.
I don't like you.
Off the air, we're always high-fiving and talking about sports.
Really?
No.
TV
we know.
shows.
What's up, friend?
Shut up.
Ready for air today where we hate each other?
Green tea ice cream was up 24%, and caramel ice cream up 19%. And the most favorite ice cream in the country, vanilla. Was a little bit disappointing, but you can't go with the classic. Can't go wrong with the classic.
I love
I guess.
vanilla ice cream.
Annie, I know that last week when we talked, you weren't sure if you were going to end up going to the Savannah Bananas game, and then Friday night I saw a picture posted on social media, and you were there.
I did it.
And there was a certain little one that was not there, so I
Yeah.
assumed that some maybe grandma and grandpa took over babysitting. Okay.
We only, I mean, like I said on the air, like we could only have 5 tickets. So we got 6
Right.
people in our family. And Molly, oh my gosh. Did any of you go to the Bananas?
No. Besides you, no.
The amount of stimulation from start to finish, it is nonstop stuff happening.
For how long?
I mean, the game clock is 2 hours.
Okay.
But the game clock doesn't start until the pregame and everything, which I think they opened the gates at 4:30, and I think first pitch was about 7 o'clock.
So there's stuff going on the whole time.
Every at bat, they'd play, like a lot of them would have a walk-up song, but every at bat would probably have 2, maybe 3 more songs that would start playing. It never stopped. So they'd have their walk-up music, they'd be up there, it would stop, and then they'd play something else. And clearly, their key demo is millennials and Gen Xers and their children. Because the music, I went with my friend Melissa and sat with her. My oldest daughter and I sat with her, and then my husband took our kids and my brother and his son. And the music was all from like high school, college, it felt like. And then there'd be a few, like, I don't know, there's a song about tacos. Is there a SpongeBob song about tacos?
Tacos. Not that I
don't
can.
know.
I don't know.
There are people listening right now like, oh, it's a taco song. I don't know. It was like cool now. But for my kids' generation, it was, I was sitting there in awe of it. It was so much fun. I was so glad I went, but I was mentally tired after the game from all the things going on everywhere. If they came back to St. Louis, I would be just as eager to get tickets to go again.
Also got to see an old St. Louis Cardinal legend.
I wasn't sitting next to my husband when Adam Wainwright walked out, but my son did tell me, he's like, I think Dad cried.
Oh, man.
When Adam Wainwright walks out and you get to watch him take the mound again, like, we didn't know we were ever going to get to see that again. We didn't know that was going to happen. You know that they could have some surprises along the way.
What did he do? Like, did he hit just like one batter? Like, just came in?
He came in, I think, for the last out in an inning. You can go
Okay.
to the Annie Fry YouTube channel. I videoed it, so you can see how that. And guys, you know the Adam Wainwright smile, right? It's ear to ear. He just looks so genuinely happy. He looks so happy to be there, and he's a Georgia boy. So the Savannah Bananas are going to be something that he's super familiar with. He kind of knew the vibe of the whole thing. It was chef's kiss. Wonderful. And then the next night, of course, Lance Lynn and Jason Isringhausen. Isringhausen was one that I was thinking, I'm like, I wonder if they'll get him. I wondered about David Freese and Isringhausen, and I thought Nelly might make an appearance. Those were just the ones I anticipated.
Wayno was my guess as to who would be. Just as far as just doing fun stuff like this.
Being willing
He hasn't
to.
stopped ever since he retired. He's done all kinds of stuff. He's done broadcasting. He's obviously the music career. He just hasn't stopped. So that one didn't surprise me. But Lance Lynn and Jason Isringhausen, super fun. And apparently the Cardinals alumni really had to do some convincing for Izzy to do it. I mean, you got to think, it's been a long time since he's pitched. I mean, Lance Lynn and Adam Wainwright retiring in Lance Lynn, I don't even know if he's actually officially retired yet.
Yeah, I think
pitching this. Maybe he did.
Just recently in the last 6 months or so.
Okay, yeah, he may have, but and of course Adam Wainwright. Like, last couple of years, these guys have been pitching. Not the same case there for Jason Isringhausen.
He said his daughters were like, "You got to do this, Dad."
And he only threw one pitch. I heard too. He said it was
one pitch, one out. Yeah.
Yeah. So nice and easy.
That's the best that situation can go, because what I respect so much about Isringhausen saying yes to this is you don't want to go out there and have the party animals hit off of you or the Savannah Bananas get hits off of you. Like,
There's
you
no
don't-
way
you don't
that they
want-
would. There's no way they actually would, though, right?
the Wainwright, the first guy got hit off Wainwright.
Did he? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, they're not out there. They're not the people who play in these baseball games. They're very good baseball players. They're just not the caliber. Like my husband and I were talking about this. It's like they can't hit the very best of the best pitching, and also the pitchers who are pitching in that type of a league. You know, maybe they have a really hot pitch, but they probably don't have the ability to change like 2, 3, the 4 pitches that you need to be able to be a pro. So they have very, very good
Sure.
assets. Plus, you don't want to go there and see. You want people to get hits, the trick plays and everything that go on. Like, there's a flow to the game. You're not thinking about. You're watching baseball because you love baseball, and it's an entertainment event for sure.
Did you get to see the guy pitch on stilts?
Yeah.
How cool was that?
Well,
The pictures of that look
I
absolutely
was
insane.
way taller than he was because I was in section 454, like 5 rows from the very top.
way up there.
Way up there. But I mean, I don't even know how he walks in it, let alone throw strikes. Good grief. It's just crazy. It's like a circus. And there's a baseball game. And I'd rather go to a circus at a baseball game than a circus at a circus.
That's fair.
And there is some serious hate
There
out there.
is.
Like there's some serious disgust about the fact that the Savannah Bananas are as successful as they are. Why are you people so unhappy? This is a choice. You don't have to be this unhappy. You don't hate them, do you?
No, at one point when they were playing in legitimate summer ball leagues, like college summer ball leagues and doing this kind of stuff, I wasn't as much of a fan of it because there were guys that were actually trying to work on their craft and improve. And this is meant to be more of a fun thing. Once they kind of went off and became their own thing,
Yeah,
I
this
was
is
way more in support
Only
of it.
meant to be a fun, entertaining
They
thing.
weren't always playing the party animals.
Yeah.
That wasn't always a thing.
Yeah.
So
I think there are 3 or 4 other teams that they play also.
yeah. So that when that was a thing, then they were actually playing other teams. I wasn't as big of a fan of it, but now I'm.
Did
all
the other
about
teams
it.
have to play them?
I'm not sure how it worked. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they played in a collegiate summer ball league down in Southeast.
There is a real frustration that people have that with other folks who like and are entertained by the Savannah Bananas. And I'm like, why do you hate fun? There are some people there are some people who would never ever 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 go to a play or a Broadway show. That just doesn't interest you at all. But like, do you spend active time crapping on the actors and the actresses in the show and the
like
people
you.
who go there? Like, why is this even entertainment? You can't even pause it. I don't understand why the Savannah Bananas draw so much vitriol. Like, just don't go. They can completely not exist in your world. You have a choice on that. Why so serious?
I couldn't believe in the pictures I saw. Last thing I'll say is how many people bought the merchandise and were wearing yellow in the stands.
full.
Everything was yellow in the seats, which I thought was pretty cool. But I don't know, it's interesting. You don't even see sometimes everyone wearing Cardinals gear at
Yeah.
Cardinals games.
It was
so
all
kinda
yellow.
funny.
A Coldplay song that they do as one of their mid inning breaks. They shut all the lights off in the stadium. Everybody holds up their flashlights and they have the crowd sing yellow. And
That's
it's
funny.
really cool. It was really fun to be a part of. If you got mad because the Savannah Bananas came to town, you need to go have some fun
Well,
somewhere.
there was so much action downtown. We
Mhm.
talked with people on Mark's show that they were having stuff going on at Union Station,
Yeah.
at the City Museum. Obviously, Ballpark Village was popping. I mean,
When we come back, I
great
want to
for
ask
the
you
area.
about what the Cardinals are thinking about that when
Uh-oh.
we return. Don't
Okay.
go away.
Nothing to show, and the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Great clouds all over the.
The Dittamore Group online at thedittamoregroup.com. If you're looking to list your home, you need Tammy and the amazing team at the Dittamore Group. You need their help. They are the best at their craft. They are the best at making sure that you are ready to list, that you are presented in a way. They're going to, from start to finish, photographs, staging, everything. They're going to help you so that you have your absolute best foot forward. And they are incredibly successful. at doing so. They're the number one team and the number one office in the Metro East. You partner with the Dittamore Group and Remax Alliance. You can have the extensive knowledge that they have of the market, the 50-plus years of experience they have on their team, and easy access to making sure that your home sale goes as smoothly as possible. Also, if you're looking to purchase a home in Missouri or Illinois, they can help you find that home that is just right. They can help you navigate the negotiation process to make sure that you're not over offering on a home, that you can understand the value there, but also making sure that you know, look, this is a really good offer, and I think you should take this if you're looking to sell. All of it with the Dittamore Group. You've got the experts there at 618-531-4652, thedittamore.com.
We know there's a lot that can go on during one night of baseball. Long home runs, epic pitching performances, catches that defy space, time, and gravity.
Climbing the wall! Did he catch it? He did!
But what if you could get all of that summarized in a quick, concise, and at least we think, funny podcast that's under 10 minutes? Check out MLB.com's morning lineup. It runs Monday through Friday mornings on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you love listening most.
Mark Cox here. Let me introduce you to my friends at the Lit Cigar Lounge in St. Louis, where luxury meets comfort. Premium hand-rolled cigars, an extensive selection of rare bourbons and whiskeys and craft cocktails. It's comfortable for non-smokers, too. They have a state-of-the-art ventilation system. They have private lockers and live music every Friday night, perfect for date nights or business meetings or just winding down. Visit litstl.com.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. And you know, your home is your sanctuary. You need to take the first step to peace of mind with a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from the #1 Generac generator dealer in the country, Generator Supercenter. We learned the hard way here in St. Louis during the tornado recently that power can be knocked out. But even outside of that, what if the power grid fails and it's 100 degrees here in St. Louis? You don't want to be that person. Get with Generator Supercenter of St. Louis today. Generator Supercenter of St. Louis.com. Tell them that we sent you along.
The YouTube live chat poll today is, what is the likelihood President Obama is arrested? We've given our opinions on this. We'd like to hear yours. You have a few minutes to get your opinion in by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube, and the YouTube live chat poll will come up with today's date, and you can vote. 2:37. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Fox News National, St. Louis Local, 97.1 FM Talk.
Take a seat, right over there, sat on the stairs, stay or leave. The cabinets are bare, and I'm unaware of just how we got into this mess. Got so aggressive. I know we meant all good intentions.
So we were talking about the Savannah Bananas coming to town. There's no way to look at the Savannah Bananas filling up 2 nights back-to-back, 44,000 people each night, numbers that were reported, and look at that and go, well, that wasn't successful, at least for the Bananas. But in the midst of that, we have the Cardinals in Arizona, and it's just not good. Being at the Savannah Bananas, I put up a bunch of videos on the Annie Fry YouTube channel of my experience there. They're shorts, so if you want to go to Annie Fry on YouTube, you can see those videos that I shared there. The most comments that I got is, this stadium hasn't been this full since, most of the time people say Pujols was chasing 700. So, Ethan, I know that you are following the Cardinals the most closely here in this room. Is there any correlation, like any thoughts in the Cardinals front office of negativity of people showing up in mass, sold out immediately for the Bananas? I was at Cards-Cubs game I was at the one that we really played badly, and Steve told me I broke the Cardinals. They lost like 8-0 or something like that. But the first two games of that series were magnificent, and the last game was competitive. They've up until here, I guess July, they've been a very fun team to watch because you tune in and it's entertaining, and you don't know what's going to happen. They've done some pretty great things. July has been a slippery slope. People want to come to the stadium and watch baseball, but it just doesn't seem like they want to watch the Cardinals.
Yes, so your question is, do you think that the organization is viewing the bananas and everything that went on at the ballpark negatively? Is that your question? Just to make sure.
No, specifically, does the success of the Savannah Bananas and people coming from all over the place to see this event have any bearing on the Cardinals assessing the lack of people in the seats?
I don't think so. I would be surprised. I saw a number, I heard a number that 70% of the people that attend Savannah Bananas games on average are not from that area.
I think
they come
I saw
in from
that
out
there
of
were
town.
40 states represented in ticket sales.
For at Busch Stadium?
I think I saw that.
That's so cool. So I think if anything, the organization is probably viewing it as a good thing, and if anything, maybe a distraction from the frustrating play that's going on right now in Arizona. I think I saw a quote, and I agree with this, that someone said that this is kind of feels like the dagger on the Cardinals season, what we saw in Arizona. It was 3 ugly games against the team that came into the series. Arizona was in a really bad spot. So maybe, if anything, you got former Cardinals coming out there. If anything, maybe a distraction. And once again, it's proof that, and this was never in question, it's never been about will St. Louisans, will the fans show up for games. Like, we know that St. Louis has great fans and they show up for the product, but St. Louis fans are also smart, and they're not happy with what the organization has done these last couple of years, and they have the right to make that known. And I think that they're smart enough to know that they have the power to be able to do so and have that impact.
Like you mentioned that the Cardinals fans are smart. I give Cardinals fans credit for being willing to not show up.
Yeah, I mean,
if we were still putting 30,000 people in the seats through June, July, when it's 100 degrees outside, we were still we've always been in the race for playoffs. This year, up until late, it's been like right there in the mix. Like you're even looking at the Cubs are so stinking good, which is super annoying.
Best record in baseball.
Yeah, and in our division, and are we in 4th now? I think.
I don't even know, but we're 3.5 out of a wild card.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's not far.
Sure.
And until 2 games ago, we were a game and a half out.
So we've been in the mix the entire time, but people are not showing up. And my personal opinion as a consumer is that I don't feel like we are watching a team that is being put together to compete for a World Series championship. And I know that was this the first year where they said we're rebuilding officially?
Not rebuilding, right? But they said that this was going to be a year where young guys were going to get the opportunity, and
didn't they say officially?
They did not say rebuild. No.
They didn't say that?
They never said rebuild.
Well, it's been sold to us for 10 years now, like that initially that we were a team that was looking to win World Series, but it seems like it felt like we were trying to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, you look at the way in which baseball has changed. I mean, 10 years ago, the Cardinals, the style, the pattern in which the Cardinals have spent hasn't really changed that much until this year, where they put very little new money into the team on the field. What has changed is the quality of their development. And while Major League Baseball and a lot of other teams have moved on with the times, have modernized in their ability to develop talent, the Cardinals have stuck with this. This is what always worked for us, so we're going to keep doing it, and they haven't adjusted.
Yeah.
And last offseason, they came out and they said, yep, we got it wrong. We did not keep up with the times.
And
that's where Chaim Bloom comes in.
I was just going to say, talk about him.
The new president of baseball operations. He will take over this upcoming offseason, and he will be the new John Mozeliak, hopefully in a better light, though, with a lot of fans. He, right now, for this current season, has been in charge of player development. And there have been some things that have changed, and the whole thing is the reason that a lot of money isn't going into a lot of new money wasn't spent on the team for this upcoming season was for 2 reasons. One, they wanted to put a lot more money into modernizing their player development, and 2, they wanted to give young guys opportunities so they could figure out, okay, who is Nolan Gorman? Who is Jordan Walker? Who is Ivan Herrera? Alec Burleson? And it can keep going on and on. And so I understand why fans are frustrated, and the expectation, right, is that you're going to get championship caliber quality baseball in St. Louis. In the last several years now, that has not been the case. At least this year, the messaging in large part was, this is not going to be that year.
Yeah.
We're trying to get back to that. And at least they admitted that.
Quickly, do you think that Cardinals fans will quickly notice a difference in attitude and approach after Mozeliak is gone?
To a certain extent, yeah. I think it's going to take a little bit to heal some wounds, but if they come out with a good messaging that matches...
all Cardinals fans want is to feel like they're fighting as hard as they can to put the best product out there, and it doesn't feel, to me, as a pretty adamant Cardinals fan, that's been the focus.
If the messaging matches what they're trying to do, I think that Cardinals fans will be bought back in relatively quickly.
Yeah, I think they're like you want it. You want to believe. Everybody is sitting here going, come on, please, just do it. Just please pull us back in. We're right here for the taking.
Everyone's ready for Heimblum to take over and for things to reset.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to show you a Nike ad that has aired, and people are saying this is evidence of a culture change. I'm going to put the ad here up. It's a picture. I'm going to put that up on our YouTube channel while we take this quick break. We invite you to stay with us. Come see the picture and vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Ethan will give us those results in about 10 minutes. We'll be right back.
In the middle, baby. Why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind.
The Retirement Advisory Group. We're having another event, and I can't wait to see you there. 314-993-9494 to reserve your spot for the upcoming Protecting Your Retirement educational event. Here are the details of when it is. So you're going to want to get a pen, write this down, put it in a message, and text it to your spouse or something. Tuesday, August 5th at the Frontenac Hilton. Tuesday, August 5th at the Frontenac Hilton. It starts at 6:30 p.m. I'm going to be there at 6 o'clock and would love to meet each of you. If you want to come a little bit early and say hi, I would love to get to know you a little bit. You're going to then, at 6:30, we're going to hand it over to Thomas Helbig and Bob and Tammy Kershaw, and they're going to spend maybe not even total 45 minutes talking to you about how the Retirement Advisory Group can give you the worry-free retirement that you've been dreaming of. You do have to reserve your space, 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494. You can also look up online and see all the details of this Tuesday, August 5th event as well. Find them online at retirementkey.com.
This summer, while you stay cool, our first responders stay on the front lines. The St. Louis First Responder Canteen is there to keep them hydrated and supported. Find out how you can help by visiting 971talk.com/talkinaction.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need while they're also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrottleNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT VIT everything.
Guys, it's time to take charge of your health with my friends at Victory Men's Health. Mark Cox here. I already love what they do at Victory. They do hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, even vitamin deficiencies. Now they're offering specialty cardiovascular testing and even early detection cancer screening. Visit them at one of their 4 great locations, now in Sunset Hills, Town and Country, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
Rooted in faith, grounded in family. We're back with more truth. This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. I was talking about this this ad from Nike that was put out. This is Scotty Scheffler, right? So
yes,
he's a pretty good golfer.
Best in the world by far right now.
Thank you, Ethan. Ethan, this is all hours sports with Ethan. But it's Scotty Scheffler kneeling or squatting down on a golf course. Looks like he's got his putter, and his little boy is crawling towards him, barefoot, looking so cute. And the Nike on this ad is on the shoe that Scotty Scheffler is wearing. And there are 3 words on this ad, and it says, "You've already won." Now, if you think about Nike in particular and the ads that they've been running in the last 10 years, I can think of their ad campaign with Colin Kaepernick. They had a huge, no pun intended, I didn't mean to do that, body positivity campaign.
Oh, Annie.
I didn't do that on purpose. I wouldn't do that. But they definitely had a body positivity campaign. And now they're coming out with Scotty Scheffler, who continues time and time and time again to use the opportunity that he has to be like, Ethan, just quantify real quick. You said he's the best golfer in the world?
Yes. He has won now 4 majors and is...
Is that something that people do?
What?
I mean, how many majors does the average pro golfer that we know, how...
It's hard. I mean, it's hard to compare, and golf isn't my area of expertise. He's not. I wouldn't say
Just
he's
fake it like
necessarily.
Ryan
I wouldn't say he's necessarily at the level that Tiger Woods was at in his peak. No one has ever been at that level during their peak. But
compare and contrast him and Ben Hogan.
I don't know who Ben Hogan is.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you know who Ben Hogan is.
Of course I do,
but
he goes to church with him.
He is.
We call him Hulk.
Very few have played for an extended amount of time at the quality that Scotty Scheffler's playing.
He's
at
on
right
a
now.
different level.
Correct.
Than the people he's playing with right now.
And the Open is considered is one of the 5 majors, I believe. There's 4 or 5 of them, and he recently won the Masters a couple of years ago. Just won the British Open, so he's playing really good golf right now.
So he won. And he's sitting there answering the press.
I've worked since I was 2 or 3 years old to have a chance to play professional golf for a living. And now I've been able to win tournaments that I just dreamed of playing in. And it's an amazing feeling, and I'm so grateful to be able to live out my dreams. But, like I said, my faith in my family is what's most important to me. And I try to live as normal a life as possible because I feel like a normal guy. I have the same friends I had growing up. I don't think that I'm anything special just because, some weeks I'm better at shooting a lower score than other guys are.
Man, the culture warriors of the last decade have to be super ticked about this. I absolutely love it. I know more about Scotty Scheffler because of this message that he continues to put out there than I know about him as a golfer. But it's one thing for Scotty Scheffler to be sitting there. He's got a Nike swoosh on his polo that he's wearing. He's got a Nike swoosh on the hat that he's wearing. I'm certain that his shoes also have a Nike swoosh on. He's making money to wear those things, which means Nike is paying Scotty Scheffler to represent their brand. And in the midst of that choice, we've seen what Nike has wanted to pair itself with before. They wanted to pair. In the past, it's always been about a movement. They're hitching their wagon to the body positivity thing, to the Black Lives Matter thing, and they've been really bold in choosing that. I've said this many times. Same thing with Disney. Like when you're trying to throw all those woke messages in, I don't think that Disney is in any way, shape, or form making that type of content because they really want the cause to succeed. They just want to make money. And they think that if woke is super in right now, if DEI is super cool right now, that if they make movies like that, you want to see it because that's the trend right now. So I'm not going to get so excited that I think that like the world is changing because Nike is doing this. I don't think Nike is leading at all. I think they've got their finger licked, stuck in the wind, and they're like, where's the culture going? And it's going to Scotty Scheffler, who cannot pass up an opportunity to talk about his faith and his family with an ad for Nike, with him squatting on a golf green, with his infant son crawling towards him. And the message is, you've already won. Folks, I don't know if family is going to be back in. I don't know if the concept of fatherhood is going to be back in, but specifically in the lane of fatherhood as a victory is the most counterculture message that I've seen come out of anything in the last 5 years for sure, like COVID times where we lost our ever-loving minds. I think that this is pivotal. And again, I don't think Nike is being brave at all. I think they've finally caught up to the culture. And that to me is really exciting. Brian, I don't know like how much you've thought about this or leaned into this, but I think it's a big deal.
Yeah, you chalk it up to Nike grabbing something that they think is relevant in the moment, which is what they do, and them grabbing Scotty Scheffler. I think, first of all, he's a pretty good golfer, so it gives them kind of carte blanche to do that. But the fact that they're leaning into it even with this ad, they don't have to do that.
They don't have to send that message.
So this is saying it's not the culture shift that everybody wants, but it is an indicator that that shift is taking place.
Yeah, and I think Nike is finally catching up to it. They know that to me, it's like, okay, this is a safe message for Nike now. That means that the culture shifted first. And the marketing is following, and traditionally the politics follow that as well. You want to hit us with the results of the poll today?
319 votes on today's YouTube live chat poll. Good job voting today, guys. What is the likelihood President Obama is arrested?
I said I was between two of these. Yes, I said more than 0% to the person who asked me this weekend. The other one that I'm leaning to is that's not going to happen.
1% said imminent. 12% said very possible. 19% said more than 0%. And 68% say never, ever going to happen.
Well, I like to manage expectations. I do think accountability can happen to some extent with the exposure of the truth. I think that's where we're headed. Does that mean an arrest? I have no idea. Keep it here on 97.1 FM Talk. The Mark Reardon Show next.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-949-1441. That's 800-949-1441. 800-949-1441.
Man, the heat has been killer for our comfort in the last week or so. We got swamped, and I'm not going to tell you to call me when we can't take care of you in a reasonable amount of time. But I've been hearing this, and it's interesting to where people want to get prices for new equipment. A word of advice on what you replace it with if you do not call me. Keep this in mind. Don't jump the shark and say, well, the more I spend, the more my bills go down. You